level on the go.
Watching out for possible severe weather. Sunny and 52 in downtown Indianapolis. Some clouds expected throughout the day today, too. The high back in the low 70s. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. We'll likely see rainfall this weekend in Indiana. It could also mean severe weather.
Really, we're going to see widespread heavy rainfall across much of the state, but when it comes to the severe weather threat, we think the greatest threat, really the entire state has a marginal threat for severe weather, but the greatest threat we think will be slightly higher as you get further south across the state.
That's Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says some areas could see wind gusts around 25 miles per hour. There's also a small chance for a spin-up tornado. With his lights and sirens on, Indiana State Police say a trooper was making his way onto Keystone Avenue from the I-465 exit just before 5:30 in the afternoon Thursday. As he pulled into the intersection, he was hit on the driver's side by a black Hyundai Tucson. Both the trooper and the driver of the Hyundai were transported to local hospitals. Thankfully, their injuries were not serious. State police don't believe drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash as they continue their investigation. Around 40 No Kings protests are expected for tomorrow across the state. The protests have been held in plenty of big cities already, like Fort Wayne and Indianapolis, but are also planned for smaller cities and towns this weekend, too, including Decatur, Oldenburg, Franklin, and Batesville. Those organizing the protests say the Trump administration is trying to eradicate the First Amendment and take away rights of marginalized groups. The average price of gas in the state of Indiana today, $2.88 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's the average here in Indianapolis. Indiana University is giving its head football coach Kurt Cignetti a pay raise and extending his contract. That was announced on Thursday. His deal now runs through November of 2033. Cignetti spoke about it in a video released shortly after he signed it.
We've accomplished a lot here in a short amount of time, but still have a lot of work to do. So I couldn't be more proud to be a Hoosier, and I plan on retiring as a Hoosier.
His previous contract had him making roughly $8 million a year, but now he's making closer to $12 million. College football action this weekend. It's Week 8 already, and the third-ranked Hoosiers will host Michigan State. Purdue is on the road to battle Northwestern. Ball State is at home taking on Akron, and Notre Dame will cap off the night in South Bend against USC. Checking traffic this morning with Matt Bear.
Hey, Jarrett, looking at northbound 65 on the south side, slow. Raymond Street into the south split because of construction, and eastbound 465 slow from Ditch to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. Next week is Halloween week, and that means it's time to deal with fears and scary things. Fortunately, Halloween is a made-up theme, but there are many issues going on right now in the financial, economic, tax, and political world that are very real and downright scary. So join me this weekend as we discuss these issues in detail and what you can specifically do to calm your fears and not be scared. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Yankee legend Bernie Williams has a personal message to share.
Idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, or IPF, is a rare and serious lung disease that affected my dad. Its symptoms, which include shortness of breath, fatigue, and a dry, persistent cough, are similar to other more common conditions like COPD, which means that IPF is often misdiagnosed. There's no cure for IPF, but there are treatments that can help slow disease progression. If you think you or a loved one may have IPF, don't wait. Visit breathlessipf.com to learn more and talk to a pulmonologist today.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This Friday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, becoming mostly cloudy, if not overcast in the afternoon, but rain will stay away. High temperature around 74 degrees, winds of the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8, meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. It's 9:06, time for Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay. All right. Now this shutdown's getting a little fun. Now we're ratcheting it up a little bit on both sides. Look, we all know how it's going to end, or I'm telling you right now how this is going to end. The Republicans are going to strike a deal to continue Obamacare. The Democrats are going to vote to have a vote on reopening the government. And Obamacare, you'll keep paying to make insurance people very wealthy, and nothing will change in the healthcare industry. Like that. That's where we're going in this. I know where we're going to end on this, Ethan Hatcher.
Politically, you're 100% correct, but I think Democrats are going to take a real hit once again in their approval ratings just because they're going to shoulder the burden of blame for all of this.
By the way, Ethan Hatcher's in for Casey today, Saturday night on The Circle. But so I've been totally disinterested in all of this because I know how it's going to end because the Republicans always huff and they puff and then they give in, and that's how the shutdowns work. But yesterday, now it got a little interesting because the Democrats cast a vote to tank funding of the military, the Pentagon funding bill, and I said, "All right, now we got
to really do that."
Oh yes. Now this is how completely disingenuous these people are. This same bill, there's all these procedural votes and a blah, 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 and it takes forever. By the way, the final vote, I believe, was 50 to 44. They need 60 votes. Democrats claiming in protest they voted against this because John Thune, the leader of the Senate, basically said, all right, Democrats, you want to keep voting to keep the government shut down, I'll call your bluff. There's no way you're going to vote against the Pentagon bill, which earlier this year, in an overwhelming fashion, Democrats and Republicans had voted to move this bill forward. That almost always happens. And now these people are voting against some of them are voting against the very bill they had just voted to move forward not all that long ago.
Hey, look, when Republicans are caught doing a litany of stupid things, you got to admit there is some smart strategy behind that move to actually force them on the record to vote against funding the military. Democrats are out of their minds. That is hilarious.
Yeah, but what's the crazy thing about this is, and I mean, these people have no shame, right?
Obviously.
They bunch of these senators had already voted to move the thing forward. I think the committee vote to move it forward, or whatever they call it in Washington, was 26-3. So it had overwhelming bipartisan support to get it to the floor for a full vote. Now you got these same people voting against the bill they had just voted to approve.
Rob, could this be why Democrats are now also taking hits from within? I believe we have some sound bites to that effect. John Fetterman, once again, being the better man and speaking the truth about what the Democrats' intentions are.
That's why shutting the government is really what the Democratic Party wants to do. And I follow country, then party. And it's the wrong thing for the country in a period of chaos. I refuse to vote to shut our government down. I absolutely would love to have... I would love to have a conversation about extending the tax credits for health care. Absolutely. But I would remind everybody, too, this was designed by the Democratic Party to expire at the end of the year. This is not something taken by the Republicans. They were designed to expire. Now let's have a conversation to extend it and not shut our government down.
So fascinating. He was on Chris Cuomo's program, News Nation, and they're at some town hall. And this visual, I know you can't see it because it's radio, but this visual is great, Ethan. It's Fetterman in a sweatshirt, of course.
Of course.
Like he's not dressing up.
Yeah.
He's sitting next to Bill O'Reilly. And then Bill O'Reilly is sitting next to Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN commentator. So these three guys are on a stage together with Chris Cuomo moderating the town hall. That's where that quote is from.
Wow, that is a cast of characters, and I don't think you could have predicted that. Like 5 years ago, if this happened in 2020, you wouldn't have seen that coming.
Well, and Fetterman's fascinating because now the Democrats are mad at him because he's pro-Israel and
he's reading the tea leaves.
Well, right,
he's clearly reading the tea leaves.
He's a politician, and so he was this very left individual when he was, I believe, the lieutenant governor in Pennsylvania. He was this very left individual. Then he gets elected to another statewide office, but he's in a changing political landscape. He recognized, hey, grenade thrower guy ain't gonna work. And so he's taken a bunch of what are seen as pro-Republican type positions. And now the Democrats, because you can't have any of that, they want to bounce the guy out of office, and they're actively looking for primary challenge to John Fetterman.
Is John Fetterman demonstrating the political theory that we've discussed Democrats need to do in order to secure election, especially in heavily Republican districts, by just acting normal, because I still wouldn't trust the guy further than I could throw him when it comes to policy, when it comes to the actual nitty-gritty. But when it comes to the talking points, he seems to be putting his best foot forward. He's, coming off as shockingly normal.
Well, the great philosopher Homer J. Simpson once said, I guess some people never change or quickly change and then quickly change right back. All right, so Ilhan Omar, she's an insufferable sea hag. She was, what is she? She's Minnesota, right? She's a rep from Minnesota.
Yes.
She was on MSNBC, of course she was, and she admits the shutdown is hurting people, but she don't care.
Are you concerned for the federal workers, the thousands of them that are furloughed during this, who are out of work, as this continues to drag on, potentially until or through Thanksgiving?
It is completely devastating. I cannot, underscore just how incredibly damaging it might be for some of these workers who are going to miss a paycheck, and that might mean they're not able to pay for their child care. It might mean they might not be able to afford food. It could mean that they might not be able to afford their rent or mortgage. And that is why this is even more important for us to be here negotiating to figure out how to reopen the government, but also address the healthcare crisis that we have been talking about.
You ever notice with everything with her, she talks up like this? That everything goes up? Everything ends with her talking higher than when she started? Have you ever noticed that?
Not particularly. I think that's her accent.
Kevin, no. That's not her accent. That's an afflect.
Okay.
Yeah, listen to this.
Of them that are furloughed during this, who are out of work, as this continues to drag on, potentially until or through Thanksgiving?
It is completely devastating. I cannot, underscore just how incredibly damaging it might be for some of these workers.
Okay. Well, what you're hearing is Valley Girl, I think, which tracks because that's who, Ilhan is spending a lot of her time around. So,
you know who figured that out years ago? It was the women. The women who were on this time slot before us.
Yeah.
They figured that out years ago, and I said, they're exactly right. Every sentence almost that she speaks, she ends higher than when she started.
Less about her accent. I was thinking about how damaging it is for Democrats to stand on providing health care and financial services for illegal immigrants, but then boxing out ordinary Americans, as she just said, from being able to buy food or pay for their mortgages. If that's the hill y'all want to die on, then go right on ahead.
Yeah,
but that's politically very stupid.
And they don't care. So no more Democrats don't ever get to say again they're very concerned about the American people.
Yep.
All right, real quick before we get to a break. So also News Nation, this was News Nation. Jim Jordan, I think this is the same town hall event that Chris Cuomo had. Jim Jordan, who's a U.S. rep from Ohio, Republican. Ro Khanna, who is a Democrat rep from California, I believe. They had a fascinating little back and forth on who's to blame for this, and I just thought it'd be fun to listen to these two go back and forth.
You know why no one believes this Chuck Schumer thing? The country thinks he's too ineffective to actually be shutting things down. Does anyone believe that the Democrats actually are like running things? You got Donald Trump, you got the Republicans in charge, the Republicans in the Senate, and so this argument that the Democrats are blocking things is just not believable.
Did you hear what the senator said? To get something passed in the Senate, you need 60 votes. The first guest on Chris's show was one of those Democrat senators who voted with Republicans. But they need 5 more to get there. So you got to understand basic civics, how the Congress works. You got to get 60 votes.
You can do this. You can do it.
You can try to blame. You can try to say Chuck Schumer doesn't know what he's doing. But that's not how.
Our government is a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire.
If it wasn't, it wouldn't be nearly as entertaining to listen to this show.
It's great for us. It's just it will keep us in business, but it's horrible for the American people. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, John Herrick from the WIBC Newsroom is going to join us. There was a massive day yesterday for sports in the state of Indiana. And look, Ethan, I took this off your plate because I know you famous, and I literally texted John. I said, Ethan doesn't exactly do sports. So John Herrick,
that's very true,
who is Mr. IU, will be with us to discuss what a big day it was. It's Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
America has a new favorite beer. It's Mick Ultra. if you remember, Modelo was the number one beer in America. They're blaming Trump. The Trump administration's immigration policies have affected its sales.
Come on. At least Cracker Barrel came out and said, hey, we screwed up. We're going to go back to the way things were. Bud Light never did.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Need to sell your home without the hassle? Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters, 317-900-HOME. Simple Quarters, sponsor of Fill Up in the News with Tony Katz.
It was a massive day for sports in Indiana yesterday. Some guy got $1 gajillion. Let's get to the bottom of it. John Herrick, news director here at WIBC. Also the pregame, halftime, and postgame host for all things Indiana athletics, football, and basketball joins us now. John Herrick, hello.
Hello, Rob. How are you?
So we have a programming tonight, right, here on WIBC?
Yeah, it feels like it gets earlier and earlier every year where they have exhibition games for IU basketball. So they start their first basketball game against Marion.
Yeah.
So Marion has their athletic director is Steve Downing, who played at IU back in the 70s.
That's right.
And they've always just had that relationship. And Pat Knight coaches Marion,
That's
Bob Knight's
right.
son. So There's an IU relationship there between both schools.
And then the big game tomorrow, IU giving 9 million points to Michigan State, but that's homecoming.
That is homecoming, yes.
Okay. Now, speaking of which, big news yesterday, Curt Cignetti, the IU football coach, the best thing that ever happened to him was James Franklin getting fired at Penn State because he just signed a massive contract extension. Tell us about it.
Well, so, I mean, I think that Pam Whitten and Scott Dolson thought last year when they signed him to a big extension.
That's the president.
That's the president and the athletic director. I think they thought, well, this is going to last a while. Well, James Franklin gets fired. Curt Cignetti's name is thrown around as a potential candidate to replace Franklin at Penn State. And I'm not surprised at all because from the conversations I've had with Whitten and Dolson, they are not going to let Curt Cignetti get away. They're just not.
Yeah.
And so when I heard that Franklin got fired and, you know, Curt Cignetti's from Pennsylvania, I was like, they're not going to let this happen. They just won't. So they were able to go and remodify his deal, and instead of having him stay through 2031, it's now through 2033, and instead of him making $8 million, he's now making closer to $12 million. And but here's the funny thing. Under his old salary, he was like the 18th highest paid coaches. Well, I was talking to a few of my friends yesterday. There's no way there are 17 coaches in college football that are better than Curt Cignetti.
Yeah.
So they had to re-up his pay to make him, more competitive with some of the elite coaches, especially when you're coming off that big win over Oregon.
So it's 8 years, $93 million?
Yes. So it's 11.6 thereabouts and he's making per year.
It's guaranteed, right? If they give him the boot, like let's just say he turns into a bad coach overnight.
Yeah.
He gets it all.
Yeah, he gets it all, and then the buyout is massive. I don't know the exact number, but it would probably be more than what Jimbo Fisher got. I think Jimbo Fisher has the largest buyout, which is like close to $77 million.
So it comes up to like $11.6 million a year. So he in 2 years, well, really less than 2 years, went from making $2 million a year to $11.6 million a year.
Yes. And 10 years ago, he said he was making $130,000. He said that last night on the Coach's Show with Tom Fisher, and now he's making close to $12 million.
Okay, but the reality of this is he's probably worth it, especially as the Big Ten is rumored to be. Now, Michigan and USC are apparently holding this up, but in some deal that could be worth $2 billion for this conglomerate or whatever they're looking at putting together to make money off rights deals.
Yeah.
Each of the schools will be in for at least $100 million. I mean, football and basketball are the drivers on this. For if you're IU, you can't let the guy go.
Yeah, you definitely can't, and especially with most of your money coming from football sales and ticket sales with that, and all. There's just so many people that come to football games compared to other sports. And when people ask me, well, why does football drive so much of this? Well, a lot of it's about attendance. And then when you sell out your stadiums constantly, then you build bigger stadiums. So IU Stadium holds about a little over 50,000. But
is that the John Mellencamp Field? Is that what it's called?
That's the practice field near it. Memorial Stadium is what holds closer to 55,000.
He only gave enough to get the practice field named after him, Ethan.
Yeah.
Is there like a menu when you give? Well, I want the actual field named after. Well, okay, that's going to cost this. What about the practice field? Well, here's what'll be. Okay, I'll write a check for that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes there.
John Herrick from the WIBC Newsroom is our guest. He's also the pregame, halftime, post-game host for IU football and basketball. You can hear him tonight, in fact, right here on WIBC. IU basketball starts tonight. But when you think about it from an economic standpoint, people are going to IU football games now.
Yeah.
No offense, nobody was going to the games 2 years ago.
No, they weren't.
So you're almost getting your money back just based on that.
Yeah. I mean, he's bringing so much money into the university just before anybody shows up to the game to buy a hot dog. I mean, he's just the interest and the buzz around IU football has been at a level it's never been before. I mean, there's been different seasons where they've had one good season here and there, and then they fall off the map.
Ethan, I wish everyone could see Ethan right now. You can if you go to the YouTube chat. Look, your jaw is hitting the floor. And this is what I said. I've taken this off your plate, Ethan, because I know you don't do sports. Think about this. The guy was making $2 million 2 years ago, and now he's making $11.6 million guaranteed.
The main takeaway for me is that at least college universities have the ability to build their own sports stadiums. I wonder how long it is before we start having to cough up and pay for those too, just like we do Lucas Oil Stadium.
That's a good point.
I mean, at least they're generating enough income to make it self-sustaining, regardless of whether
Could I even build another stadium? Did they just do a bunch of stuff with IU's football?
Yeah, they've been upgrading it, and I do think at some point that they are going to make upgrades. Kurt Signetti had said in the offseason that press box is going to come down, which I know Don Fisher would love to have happen because it does need to be upgraded, as do a lot of press boxes around the Big Ten, Penn State's, which is awful.
Are they bad? Is Penn State bad?
Awful. Terrible.
No
Absolutely
kidding.
horrible.
Penn State?
Yes. So when we went in there 2 years ago, there's no room in that press box at all. And so I just waited until Don set everything up. I'm like, you're far more important. I'll wait till you get set up, and then I'll sit in next to you. And we were like elbow to elbow. Me, him, Rhett Lewis, and our stat guy were just like all knuckle to knuckle.
At Penn State?
It's terrible in there. Yes.
You ever get tempted, like just when you're doing the pregame show or something, just go on a rant about something? I mean, you got the live mic.
We do, but we all kind of go on rants sometimes during commercial breaks. One time a wasp flew in, and it came really close to stinging Don. So I grabbed a water bottle and I just killed this wasp. And he's over here like, what are you doing? I was like, saving your life is what I'm doing. A wasp was getting near you.
Just like here at WIBC, you never get the credit you deserve. Here, John, tonight, IU basketball. What time does this game start tonight?
It starts at 7:30. We go on at 6:30.
Very good. John Herrick, thank you, my
friend.
friend.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
At Life Church, we believe that the truth of the Word of God is for all ages and vital to their ability to thrive in our current culture.
Barna research shows a child's faith is often set by age 13. That's why we're passionate about reaching kids and teens with truth and love right now.
With safe spaces, committed volunteers, and a foundation built on God's Word, Life Church is here to help your whole family grow in Jesus.
Whether your kids are just starting out or learning to own their faith, we're ready to walk that journey with you.
Go to lifechurchin.com for service times and locations. Parents, you can do this. We will help you.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're set for another meeting. Sunny skies, 54 this morning in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 73. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:30. President Trump preparing to host Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House today to help find a way to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Fox's Jackie Heinrich from the White House explaining that the president is now suddenly hesitant on Zelensky's request for military help.
The president did have a different tone regarding Zelensky's request for tomahawks before talking to Putin versus after.
We need tomahawks for the United States of America, too. We have a lot of them, but we need them. I mean, we can't deplete for our country.
President Trump has voiced multiple times in recent months he is frustrated with Putin, who's only ratcheted up attacks on Ukraine while stalling these peace talks. After the call, the president said he would meet with Putin in Budapest. Quote, the United States' initial meetings will be led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, together with various people.
Talks with both sides have shown little progress towards a ceasefire or peace deal as of late. Meanwhile, tensions are still high between the U.S. and China as both countries tried to come to a trade agreement. President Trump threatened last week to impose 100% tariffs on Chinese goods, but also said these tariffs would not be long-term. The new threat came after China put export restrictions on rare earth minerals. And just like in many other states, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry is calling a special legislative session for Republicans to deal with what they hope is a favorable Supreme Court decision on congressional maps. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 50 points, 45,952. The S&P 500 down 7 points, 6,629. And the NASDAQ is in the red, 84 points to 24,657. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The weather's brought fall color to Sundown Gardens. A great fresh selection of container trees has just arrived. The nursery staff at Sundown Gardens is ready to help you get all of your fall plantings done. And while you're there, shop all the season sales. 20% off interior fall decor, 50% off pottery, and some nursery selection is up to 50% off. The Garden Center has a great selection of local grown mums, pumpkins, and more. Sundown Gardens on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundowngardens.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for our friend, the great Mark Deedle. You know, Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with Mark Deedle. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Sarah in Fountain Square had to say about working with Mark Deedle. After investing in a property in Fountain Square, ran into some financial trouble and needed to sell the place fast for max dollars. I hired the Mark Deedle team, and they were able to sell my property within weeks for over list price. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, has been indicted. It's over classified documents. It's all over classified documents these days. What do we make of it? It's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Ethan Hatcher from Saturday Night on the Circle in for Casey. Before we get to this, programming note coming up at 10 o'clock. Bo Bai, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State, will be with us, and a lot of people are interested with what he has to say, so that's coming up at 10 o'clock. All right, so John Bolton, he was a national security guru, the Bush administration, and then for some reason Trump brought him on, even though he appears to be his philosophically in direct contrast. I mean, he seems to want to bomb everyone.
Yeah, kill them all, turn the entire continent into glass,
Yeah.
is the John Bolton foreign policy philosophy.
Which is very odd that Trump picked him, because Trump has kind of prided himself on being the peace president and keeping us out of wars and military conflicts. But he made the choice, and then so Bolton, it didn't go well, which I think everybody saw that coming, his time with Trump. And then he became a fierce critic of the Trump administration after he was let go, quit, whatever you want to call it.
And now he finds himself under indictment over bringing classified documents into his home and then sharing them with people via electronic messaging.
If the reports are true, then he deserves this indictment because his handling of classified information was even dumber than Hillary Clinton. Remember, she had her private server. He didn't keep this stuff on a private server. He put it on Google. He put it on his private email and then sent this to family members. So you want to talk about misappropriation and mishandling of very sensitive information that was later hacked by Iran. This is an investigation that, as I understand it, goes back to 2022 in the Biden administration. So you can't even say, oh, it's Donald Trump exacting political revenge on his opponents. No. This goes back years now.
Yeah, so CNN has a big deep dive on this. And you're right, Ethan. One of the big things is he alerted, I think it was the FBI, that his email in 2022 was hacked. Oops. And it was an Iranian, or believed to be an Iranian actor that got in there and got the information. And Craig Collins played this on the show this morning. Craig was in for Tony. That Bolton is a complete hypocrite because he was all over the news shows when Trump was under, investigation and then later indictment over handling classified documents, saying throw the book at him.
They're all hypocrites, Rob. But Joe Biden was keeping classified documents next to his Corvette in the garage.
So 18 counts of the indictment. Here is MSNBC as the indictment came down in real time.
Yeah, so John Bolton was charged with 18 federal counts, and I apologize, I'm going to look down. I'm reading this. We're still just getting this. We have the first 8 counts are transmission of national defense information. The second set of 9 counts, that's counts 9 through 18, is retention of national defense information. And that looks like it's U.S. Code Title 19, Section 793D and E, which is part of the Espionage Act. Now, there was another statute that they were considering, and it looks like they've only charged him with those Espionage Act statutes, but we're still reading through this indictment. It's 26 pages long. There's a lot of background information here, and I apologize, but we're literally just getting this in right now.
Okay, and I think the big thing, and again, we'll see what comes of this, is that via electronic messaging, he was transmitting these documents to people in his family.
Yeah. No, I mean, it gets even stupider because this comes from a lot of private notes that he was taking and writing down by hand in a notepad, which is already, not an ideal way to handle sensitive information, but at least it can't be reproduced unless you upload those handwritten notes to a digital device, which is exactly what was going on. John, you've defeated the purpose of a handwritten note, John.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say, and actually his defense seems to center around the fact of, government leaders for years have kept handwritten notes.
There we go. Yeah.
It is one thing to have the documents on your person. Look, I think we maybe get a little stringent on this, like people are moving countless files, et cetera, especially presidents, vice presidents. Is there malicious intent? I think that's part of it. But it's one thing to have it on your person. Hey, I brought this box of stuff home with me. I, made a mistake, whatever. But then to be, as you said, taking these correspondence and then uploading them to the internet where anybody can and apparently did get into them, that's another story.
Not just the internet, but specifically Google. And as anybody who has an ounce of knowledge about the technology industry, Google checks everything that is uploaded to your Google Drive. AI is constantly scanning and attempting to moderate potentially illicit or illegal, highly sensitive materials that are moving through their servers. Google knows anything that you're putting on to a Google Drive, Google can access.
So Trump got asked about Bolton, and in classic Trump fashion, he had something to say.
Just indicted by a grand jury in Maryland. Do you have a reaction to that?
I didn't know that. You told me for the first time, but I think he's, a bad person. I think he's a bad guy. Yeah, he's a bad guy. It's too bad, but that's the way it goes.
The case against him?
That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes. Will I what?
Have you reviewed the case against him?
No, I haven't. But I just think he's a bad person. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah,
I love that.
Me have no idea this was going on. Yeah, sure, buddy. But I think he's a horrible person.
I can believe that Trump hasn't reviewed the case.
No, I don't think he's reviewed the case, but I think he knew exactly what was going down.
Oh, sure.
Right. And I'm torn on this because on one hand, it really does start to seem like when you, in rapid time, you have Letitia James, Comey, Bolton, James Comey, former FBI director, Letitia James, Attorney General of New York, and now Bolton, fierce, vocal, high-profile critics all being indicted within, a couple weeks of each other. This does sort of seem like using your office to get at your enemies, but then I stop and go, well, they totally did it to him first.
Yeah.
But
Sucks
does
to suck.
But does that? I don't know if that excuses you doing it back to them. I have concerns as an American citizen about all of this, as we said repeatedly when they were doing it to Trump, that this seems very wrong. It also sort of seems wrong that Trump is doing it back. But if
Turnabout's fair play. They backed the wrong
tried
horse.
to throw you in federal prison, you might be a little pissed off too.
They backed the wrong horse. They were happy to dance on Donald Trump's grave when they thought it was going to be another 4 years of Biden or Kamala Harris, and then now, the winds of fate have changed.
All right. Speaking of Trump, so I thought there's this big ceasefire in the Hamas-Israel conflict, working towards a peace agreement. Everybody's very excited. And what did we say? We said, well, wait a second now. Let's just hold everything. This is a nice day that these hostages are coming home. But how many times have we heard peace in our time, and then very quickly everything just disintegrates again?
I can't believe that a couple pages of a peace treaty didn't solve thousands of years of ethnic and religious hatred, Rob. I'm really shocked by that.
Apparently Hamas is still doing bad things, and Donald Trump wanted to send a message to them. So I'd like to do a dramatic reading of the I don't know if this tweet or truth or wherever it was. He put this on social media. I'd like to do a dramatic reading, if that's all right.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go. If Hamas continues to kill people in Gaza, which is not the deal, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So the Hamas is under control. Seems not be going so well.
Do these people not realize that they're on a territory like a third of the size of the city of Indianapolis limits? It would be very easy for the United States to completely obliterate them.
It's just fascinating to me, though, that we totally called it. We're like, dude, these people may do things in the moment to benefit them for self-survival, but this is not Scrooge waking up after being visited by 3 ghosts. They're not going to change. They never change. They don't want peace. They don't care about, like we said, Saudi Arabia. You can deal with them because they want money. They like stuff. They like prestige. They like power. These people, they're just out to do damage.
I've already seen that they're harassing their own citizens who helped Israel in some way or who are attempting to leave the borders of Gaza. Like, these people are monstrous, murderous savages.
Yep. All right. Okay, when we come back, Ethan, have you do you spend a lot of time on the north side of Indianapolis?
Rarely. I don't have the money. They keep hooligans like me out. They try and price us out of the market.
I don't even have the money to travel to that side of town. Well, you may have seen that they've got those speed cameras up there.
Oh, on the highway?
465. Yes. Letting you know that if you speed in a construction zone, you're in big trouble. And we have some preliminary data on how much money that is made for the government at your expense. We'll tell you when we come back. It's Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Yes, both of us scheduled to be in studio together. Can you believe it? Oh, by the way, it's Beer Sample Friday. Maybe that's why he's back.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $200 more.
Tire Discounters.
See store for details.
Fall is in full swing at Wilson Farm Market. Bright mums, pumpkins, and gourds are waiting to bring color to your porch and table. Enjoy a fresh apple cider slush or Wilson's famous peach cider slush. The taste of fall in every sip. Inside, the ovens are busy with breads, pies, and treats you'll smell the moment you walk in. Hungry yet? Grab some crispy fried chicken or stop by the deli, salad bar, and cheese counter for easy meals to take home. Wilson Farm Market, right off US 31, just north of Westfield. Your fall favorites all in one stop.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Dancing with the Stars Wednesday, February 25th at Old National Center.
You people need to slow down in the construction zones because you're giving the government way too much money. It's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Ethan's in for Casey today. So this year, through the act of the General Assembly, INDOT began installing speed cameras at various construction zones across the state of Indiana. And one of them now can be found on the north side of Indianapolis on 465. Mm-hmm. And WTHR has the reporting on this. I think some other news agencies do as well, that residents, motorists, according to them, with this Marion County work zone, are getting 1,000 tickets a day in terms of people going over the speed limit. According to them, INDOT has mailed 168,000 violation notices in the first 158 days of enforcement.
I'm sorry, how many?
168,000 violation notices in the first 158 days of enforcement.
Isn't the entire population of Indianapolis something like 800,000 people?
Yeah, it's a staggering number. By the way, so specifically, they call it Interstate 465, Interstate 69 work zone. And the total amount of money that they have generated is just over $600,000 in fines. Now, this is what's interesting about this is the way this works. The first offense is a warning letter. The second offense is a $75 fine, and the third or more costs you $150.
And they've already gotten $600,000 out of that.
What they have generated.
Wow.
Now, I have said this because I've driven this twice, I think, and I am a notorious rule follower, even when there's no threat of financial penalty. I actually think this is somewhat dangerous because me following the speed limit, me following the rules, you're going so slow at this point, you're so cognizant that you're almost a danger to yourself in the flow of traffic because everyone else is kind of still not doing it. So while, yes, they're getting a letter or a fine for not doing it, it's creating a hazard for yourself. It was very nerve-wracking because you've got a window, right? It's like 45 is the speed limit. You can drive to 55 and not get the letter. But what's the 55? Is it 55 by their speedometer? Obviously it is, but does that match up with your speedometer? So you're constantly paying attention to your speedometer, still trying to go with the flow of traffic, and I think it's creating another safety hazard by doing this. I get wanting to keep the construction workers safe. I get all that. I understand. I'm not disputing that. But I think there must be a better way because as a rule follower, it was probably making me less safe as a driver.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that they're keeping up to speed at all up on that section of 465. Aren't they constantly slowed down or being congested just because of the lane restrictions and construction anyway? Because how are people even getting up past 55 unless it's very early or in the morning or middle of the night, maybe?
It's a nightmare. So this was several months ago. I avoid that side of town like the plague. Thankfully, as a West Side person, there's very little reason for me to ever have to be up there.
It's very expensive. They don't want you up there anyway, Rob.
Yes, you and I cannot afford to go up there. But that is the amount of money that has been generated so far by this $600,000 with 168,000 violation notices sent out.
You know, back in the Middle Ages, something that had to be contended with if you were walking from village to village, or if you had the enormous luxury of being able to ride a horse to the next village, was highway robbers.
Ah, yes.
And that pre-existed organized law enforcement for the most part. But I thought that was the whole point of having an organized civil society, was the highway robbery was supposed to go away. And you're telling me it's come back and now it's in the form of a camera.
Look, I think it's a tough conversation to have because there are people who clearly abuse, the rules of decent society, which are, hey, you're in a construction zone where people are trying to do their jobs. You got to protect those people. You got to slow down. Everybody's got to kind of work together. And when people refuse to do that, then you're creating a very unsafe environment for those people who deserve, a reasonable amount of safety to do their jobs. So how do you enforce that? I'm just saying on the other side of the equation, sometimes, especially when the traffic is flowing in a certain manner, trying to make sure you keep your automobile within a very distinct number while also watching that and trying to drive and trying to avoid everything, that is very hectic.
What you're demonstrating is the insidious underside of this whole thing, which is that it's not about safety at all. They coat it in the veneer of this, safety. Oh, it's protecting construction workers and it's protecting you in a construction zone, but it's about generating revenue, and they're creating safety hazards in the process.
Of course, it's about getting revenue. It's a way they found that the public would be sympathetic to be able to generate revenue. Now,
and if you let them get their foot in the door, which now they have, you can bet more of this is coming.
Well, so when we went to Chicago a couple months ago, up 65, there was one of these zones, but there was nobody working. There was nobody working in the zone. And so my question is, were those cameras even active? And if the goal is to protect workers, which I understand, how can you be giving people? I mean, there was nobody. It wasn't like people were at lunch. It was like there's nothing going on, and this was during the week. Like there was not a single worker the entire stretch of this, Interstate 65. There was not a soul to be seen that was doing any sort of work. And so my question is, are those cameras active then? And if so, well, you're not really about protecting workers, then clearly we're just about trying to get money from people.
The powers that be very much would like to turn us into Chicago, and we're already outpacing Chicago when it comes to crime. I'm not sure if you've looked at the data for how much revenue that Chicago is taking in from these speed cameras, but they are getting to the tune of millions of dollars, Rob, in some cases from a single camera on a single street. It's nuts.
Yeah, and then you factor in they're going to do these toll roads. It's just a matter of time before Braun tolls probably everything in existence, 70, 65 again.
We'd be the only state that tolls every stretch of the interstate highway. No other state in the union does that.
Yeah, it's anyway, I just wanted to update the public that's if you've gotten one of those letters. Now, the first letter is supposed to be just a warning, so hopefully you weren't getting fined for that. All right, so we got a couple of big things we got to get to next hour. The first thing, and I want to just tease this real quick, is someone shot up one of your houses.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was a couple of people. Because it looked like two different calibers of bullets, and the bullets came from two different directions. Like they turned the place into Swiss cheese, Rob.
You tweeted this out. What's your Twitter handle?
You can follow me at Ethan Hatcher. That's my name, ETHANHATCHER at Ethan Hatcher on Twitter, or on my podcasting page Saturday night on thecircle.fireside.fm.
Okay, so you have the photos up of what we're going to talk about next hour, because this, no pun intended, it blew my mind that the brazen nature of this and the visual of it is simply unbelievable. We'll talk about that next hour. And the big thing, when we come back, Bo Bai, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State, son of Evan Bai, former governor and senator, grandson of Birch Bai, a famous senator from Indiana. He is running for Secretary of State, and he is going to sit down with us for the first part of the hour, next hour, and talk about this campaign. And Ethan, I'm going to be fascinated to get your perspective on this, because he really is the last hope for the Democrats. If this fails, if he fails, all the money he's raising, the name, the pedigree, if he fails, and running against probably will likely be a horrible candidate in Diego Morales, if they can't win that one, they might as well just fold it up as a party.
Yeah.
I mean, This is going to be a very interesting conversation.
He has every advantage, and if they fail to capitalize on it, then they deserve to lose.
All right, Bo-Bye, coming up next. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Things are getting frighteningly good at the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this weekend at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds in Lafayette. Whether you're buying, selling, or trading, the best dealers in the region are creeping in for this haunted weekend of bargains. Admission is just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. But beware, you must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Doors creak open Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 9 to 3 at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds in Lafayette. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Need furnace or heat pump service and want to work with a local independent dealer you can trust, like Stevenson Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Need to sell your home without the hassle? Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters, 317-900-HOME. Simple Quarters, sponsor of Fill Up in the News with Tony Katz.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Housing discrimination. Would you recognize it and report it? These folks did.
My landlord said rent will be cheaper if we're friends with benefits.
Because I'm legally blind, a landlord questioned whether I'd be capable of maintaining an apartment.
Our real estate agent said a different neighborhood with people like us might better suit our family.
To learn more about housing discrimination, visit HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing is your right. Use it. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the likelihood of severe weather in the state for this weekend. What happened to a state police trooper while driving on Indy's north side. How an owner of a smoke shop in Indianapolis is reacting to the recent raid of his business. And a breakdown of Kurt Signetti's contract extension with Indiana University. Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
He said nothing on his way into the courthouse.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, where John Bolton surrendered ahead of a hearing the day after being indicted. The former Trump national security advisor turned outspoken Trump critic is accused of mishandling classified information.
The charges of not only keeping top secret info, but sharing it with family members. The DOJ says he sent diary-like entries about his workdays at the White House and shared information classified to the top secret SCI level, the most sensitive.
Fox's David Spun outside the court in Greenbelt, Maryland.
FBI agents raided both the Maryland home of Bolton and the D.C. office at the end of August. His attorney, Abby Lowell, said many of these classified documents were cleared for use while he wrote his book. Bolton noted the prior DOJ did not charge him, though Fox is told he was investigated under the Biden DOJ.
In a statement, Bolton calls the conduct lawful, writing he is the latest target of the weaponization of the Justice Department going after Trump enemies, saying it's intimidation and an abuse of power. In a few hours, Ukraine's leader will return to the White House, asking for more help battling Russia. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
One ask that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected to make is for the U.S. to provide long-range Tomahawk missiles.
We have a lot of them, but we need them. I mean, we can't deplete for our country.
President Trump spoke by phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin Thursday. The two leaders agreed to meet perhaps later this month in Budapest, Hungary.
Now, that follows the August Trump-Putin summit in Alaska that did not lead to the ceasefire the president's hoping for. President Trump's also planning in a few weeks to meet with the Chinese leader after the trade war escalated, with the president threatening the other day 100% tariffs on Chinese imports, which he admits to Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo are unsustainable.
China in particular, boy, they did a number on our country. They took money out. Now it's reversed. I mean, we're doing very well with China.
That interview will air on Fox Sunday Morning Futures. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Just how heavy will it be? Right now, sunny, 56 in downtown Indy. It'll get up to 73 for a high today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:02. Rain is supposed to fall across Indiana this weekend. John Herrick has more.
It does bring with it the possibility of severe weather both Saturday and Sunday. But Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there is an upside to it.
This rainfall will definitely be beneficial for portions of the state that are seeing, these worsening drought conditions.
And he says it will help up to a point.
Now, it won't completely get us out of the drought, but it will be beneficial and at least help us from seeing worsening drought conditions.
As far as when the storms could be strongest, he thinks that's likely Saturday afternoon and evening. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
At around 5:30 in the afternoon Thursday, Indiana State Police say a trooper had his lights and sirens on while getting off I-465 westbound onto Keystone Avenue in Indianapolis when he was hit by another car. Troopers say he stopped at the traffic light and made sure cars were yielding to him first, but as he made his way through the light, he was struck by a driver in a black Hyundai Tucson. He and the other driver were transported to local hospitals with minor injuries. Police do not believe drugs or alcohol were a factor. Indiana State Excise Police scouring over the Higher Life CBD dispensary and smoke shop in Fountain Square recently as part of their statewide crackdown on unregulated sales of smoking products. Owner Brandon Howard said police took over 700 smokable hemp products from a store.
They took CBD hemp flower, which is legal under the Farm Bill. So in Indiana's eyes, it's illegal, but with the federal law, it's legal pretty much.
Howard spoke with Wish TV about the raid. He's now calling on nearby smoke shops to clear their business of any possible illegal items and is hoping state leaders will also reconsider Indiana's laws on THC products. With the Indiana Hoosier football team now 6-0 and ranked third in the country, the administration is deciding to give head football coach Curt Cignetti a new deal. It keeps him at the school through November of 2023. Here's what Cignetti said in a video posted to social media about it Thursday.
The way that this state has embraced us in our success in football has meant more to me than anything else.
His average annual salary is getting a bump, too. It's now up to approximately $11.6 million a year. Cignetti says he loves being a Hoosier and wants to retire as one. The number 3 ranked Hoosiers are 27-point favorites over Michigan State this Saturday, according to odds makers in Vegas. Number 13 Notre Dame has number 20 USC in South Bend. The Irish have won 4 games in a row. Meanwhile, Purdue has lost 4 straight. They face Northwestern, and Ball State is hosting Akron all tomorrow. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of, why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland, or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WYBC.
So can he stop the Republican cabal in Indiana? Let's find out. It's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Ethan's in for Casey. Bo Bai joins us now in studio, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State. Bo, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Rob?
All right, so first question. Why would you want to do this to yourself? You got a pretty good life. You're working for a law firm, great family. Why are you running for Secretary of State?
Yeah. I was raised in a family of public servants, and I was always taught that public servants should serve people and not themselves. And I'm looking at our state. I'm seeing too often that the folks in the State House, and particularly the Secretary of State, are serving themselves. He's using his position as an elected official to benefit himself, to enrich himself, to help his friends and family. I mean, the guy spent $90,000 of the taxpayer money on a luxury SUV.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's not just a lot of money. That's more than the average Hoosier makes in an entire year. He's flown around the world, doesn't tell us who's paying for those trips, the purpose of the travel. He's increased his own salary, his office headcount, etc. The list goes on. I want to live a life of service. I was in the Marine Corps. When you see a problem in the Marine Corps, you run toward it. You try and fix it. The Secretary of State's office is a big, big problem in our politics. My plan is simple, Rob. Day one, we're going to clean up the wasteful spending and the corruption. I'm going to conduct an independent audit of the office.
Yeah, can you auction the car off? That'd be fun. Can you do that?
We'll wait on that one. We got to see what the market looks like. And I think that thing's got some nice leather interior too. Still that new car smell.
So I want to get to what you're going to do as Secretary of State. But the first thing that fascinates me is obviously, and I'm sure you get this all the time, you come from a very famous political family. Your dad was the governor, senator. Your grandpa was senator. Like, is that do you step out of that shadow? Do you say, look, here's who I am. I'm a part of this lineage of politics. How are you going to handle that as you run this campaign?
Yeah, I'm very proud of my family's service to our state and country. And, I'm not naive to the circumstances of my birth. It's not something I could control. It's just kind of who I am. But I got to be my own person. I am my own person. And I look forward to the next, 13 months or so to November of 2026, showing people who I am. I got to be my own person. You might remember in 2016, my dad briefly lost his mind and tried to get back involved in politics.
Well, that's why I ask you, because you see this with sports, where it's like very hard to be.
I heard you're calling me Arch Manning, by the way.
I said, what if you're not very good?
Yeah.
You could very well be very good. We hope you're very good. But you see that with sports, right? Where it's like, Michael Jordan's son or now LeBron James' son. It's very hard to follow in the footsteps of famous fathers or grandfathers, and I just wonder, how you'll deal with that, because sometimes that's not easy for people.
Yeah, well, it's not easy. But you might remember Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
my sports hero.
Worked out well.
His dad won nobody.
Yeah.
So it does happen both ways. And look, my mom always liked to say to me growing up, never try and be anyone else, because you're never going to be good at it. People can smell a phony from a mile away. It's same in the Marine Corps, same in business, same in politics. You just got to be yourself. I'm just going to tell people the truth, particularly when it comes to this office.
Yeah.
Tell people what's going on. I mean, you've discussed this public polling on your show. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yep.
The public polling shows that nobody knows in our state who Diego Morales is, and the people that do know don't like him.
Is that good for you? By the way, Bo Bai is our guest. He's Democrat candidate for Secretary of State. Is that good for you? Because on the one hand, he's way underwater and people know who he is. The other hand, all the shenanigans he's pulled, people don't really know about it yet. Does that work in your favor?
Yeah, because I'm going to bust my butt. I'm going to get to all 92 counties of our state, and I'm going to tell people about this. How can you blame people for their voting patterns when they're not informed about the candidates? I'm going to get around our entire state. I'm going to have the resources to do that with some media, and I'm going to do it with my legs getting around all 92 counties. I'm going to tell people about him. I'm going to tell people about me. I am the right person for this office. It's not partisan, Rob. It's not. The office has nothing to do with your political party. It has to do with good government. I mean, the guy's wasting our money. People work really hard for their money. I'm going to save people money.
Bo Bai is our guest, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State. All right, so I think a lot of people are going to be very interested on how you sort of overcome the Democrat challenge, which is, hey, it's a 60-40 state. Obviously, the Democrats, it's been a long time since, I guess, Joe Donnelly and then Glenda Ritz, so it's been a decade plus. How do you get enough Republican-leaning voters to vote for you to make up that pretty big gap in terms of voter tendencies, for lack of a better term?
It's a good question. The best thing about this office and this race and my message, it's not partisan. Republicans, you don't like wasteful spending.
That's
you don't
right.
like when our Secretary of State goes to Hyderabad, India, and doesn't tell us who's paying for it, man.
Hey, we're counting on you to find out who paid for the thing. That's your job.
Hey, day one, we're doing an independent audit. We're going to, you probably had mice in your house. Your listeners have had mice in their house. The exterminator comes over. When they see one mouse, it means there's like 50 or 100. This is just what we know with this guy.
Are you the exterminator? Are you running to be the exterminator of the Indiana State House?
Those are your words. It's just an analogy. But look, where there's smoke, there's fire. Day one, we're going to conduct an independent audit of this office. Republicans and Democrats alike can get behind cutting out wasteful spending and blatant corruption in politics. This guy, Rob, has given out no-bid contracts to his campaign donors from out-of-state software companies. I mean, look, he's supposed to be in charge of registering the businesses in our state. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Your listeners probably are business owners. Can you imagine registering your new business as an entrepreneur with our state and wanting a good partner in the Secretary of State's office? And this guy's giving out no-bid contracts to his donors? That is not a good partner. How can you trust that person to help you found your business and be successful? It's ridiculous.
So you have, like we said, an uphill climb. And by the way, I think that's great that you're going to do that, because I think we talked about this on our show. Not only are you running against Diego Morales, there's a lot of people who have been totally complicit in what he's doing. I think most people in that state house know exactly what he is. And the fact that the governor won't do anything about it, the attorney general won't do anything about it. It's really going to take somebody to get in that office, because you will get access to all the stuff and be able to open those doors.
You're right. And look, this goes to the heart of a big problem in Indiana politics that I think you and I agree on. Mitch Daniels agrees with me on this. He's written extensively on this. Diego Morales is the product of 25 years of no competition in politics.
You're right.
This is what happens. It's just like business. If you have, if there are no competing businesses in an area, the one business in town can jack up their prices and screw consumers. That's what's happening here. He does not feel like he has to take good steps toward good government, because he feels like there are no repercussions for his bad actions. He's about to find out that's not the case. It's not partisan. We need competitive politics because it produces better results for voters. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about people in office who actually care about the taxpayer, who are competent at their jobs, and are not going to lie to you.
So I try to make this case a lot in this program, and I hear from people, many people, they will say, you know what, you're right. The Republicans are awful. They're mismanaging our money, the crony capitalism. But boy, there's a lot of extremists in the Democrat Party, and I just can't deal with that. How do you overcome when there are some very loud voices in your party who really alienate people who otherwise might be open to voting for you? How do you deal with that?
I hear you. I hear them. And
you tell those guys, sit down and shut up.
Look, both political parties need to focus on the issues that matter to most people. Most people. People care about cost of living. I mean, utility rates are through the roof here in Indiana. You know that. I just passed the AES building on the way in here. That's my utility company. I pay those rates. Healthcare costs are way too high. Our roads and bridges are crumbling. We got to make sure to keep our streets safe. These are the issues that people care about. The Democratic Party, some factions of it, have been focused on things for way too long that are just not the main issue for most people. So you ask me how I'm going to, attract voters of the other party. Focus on the things that matter to people, not some of the extremist politics that we've seen.
So, like with coaches in sports, like if their dad was a coach, they call up their father, like, hey, what do you think about this game, whatever. Do you have those conversations with your dad, or is it just like, hey, I'm going to do my thing, and I'll call him and we'll talk about, the Colts game this week? Like, what are those conversations like?
Yeah, sometimes I'll ask him for advice. Sometimes he gives unsolicited advice, like a lot of loving fathers out there. And that can be good and bad. But, this is my own thing. I got to make my own way. And in 2016, people say, oh, well, you're benefiting a ton from your dad's legacy, and I get that. I 100% get that. I'm not naive. But he did lose his last campaign in 2016 by a healthy margin.
To an idiot. To Todd Young, yes. Yeah.
Well, actually, Todd Young, say what you will about him. He's a Marine. I'm a Marine. He actually I had a problem with my GI Bill benefits. I gave his office a call. They were on it right away. So I do appreciate the fact that
Now, you get a lot of credit, though. You've been here for 10 minutes, and you did not mention you were a Marine, which is way more than you ever get out of Todd Young. So congratulations.
Well, look, I appreciate his service.
All right, our guest is Bo Bai, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get to some of the issues. How does he feel about voter ID? How does he feel about ballot initiatives? We'll get to that and a lot more. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
There's a real truth here that is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Gen Z is not hooking up, and you're missing out on experiences, you're missing out on connections. I don't know why it isn't important, but being afraid of the experience is a real problem for the soul. Well, how do you find people? How do you create? To quote Avenue Q, there is life outside your apartment.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, it's JMV, and Miss M's Home and Garden is bursting with all things fall. Shop and save 20% now on interior fall decor. Now's a great time to think about fall plantings. Visit the friendly nursery staff to find the perfect trees and shrubs to upgrade your landscape. Some selections are up to 50% off. Still need to get your mums for the season? Miss M's Home and Garden has you covered. Visit the greenhouse for a great selection of local grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and more. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
First kick it took was when I hit the ground. The black don't listen be too much.
93 WIBC, it's Kendall and Casey Show. Rob Casey's out today. Ethan Hatcher in for Casey. Bo Bai, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State, is our guest. So let's talk about some of the positions you have. You have said, I think this is very smart, voter ID off table. We're not touching voter ID in
it's the law of the land. And Rob, by the way, we in our state must have secure elections. There is no room in our state for illegal voting. But at the same token, I think it's a shame that Indiana ranks 50th, bottom of the country in voter participation.
Why is that?
That is because the number one reason. I've read studies about this. I doubt Diego Morales has studied this issue because, to be honest with you, I don't think he cares. Voter apathy.
Yeah.
People don't go to the polls because they feel like their voice doesn't matter, like they're just casting their ballot into the abyss. Your listeners know about this partisan redistricting effort that's going on.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to do to voter apathy? If we further gerrymander our congressional maps where we have very non-competitive elections, people are not going to go to the polls because they're going to say, why am I voting? This outcome is predetermined.
So I think the big thing for you, though, is you're fine with voter ID in the state of Indiana. You're not going to push to change that.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about the ballot referendums, because that'd be an act of the legislature, but you as the elections chief would have some sway over that in terms of public influence. Where are you at on ballot referendums?
I think it is time in Indiana, just like Florida, Missouri, and Ohio, that we had a citizen-led ballot referendum process. I just mentioned Indiana ranks 50th, bottom of the country in voter participation. That is in part pushed by voter apathy. Another part is people think that folks in the State House just don't represent their interests. They're just turned off from politics, like my brother is one of these people.
We were mentioned earlier. He's nowhere to be found. He's probably very happy.
He's living a great life in Carmel and with his new wife and new job, so he's doing fine. But look, can you imagine the energy that we can build in our state, the voter turnout that could happen if we let the people decide to have a voice in the big issues of the day? That is going to drive turnout. That's going to get people out to the polls. I have a lot of faith, Rob, like you do, in Hoosiers deciding these issues and not the folks, the 150 people who are bought off by special interests in the State House. I have faith in Hoosiers deciding
Do you feel pressure that, look, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. You're sort of like the last hope for the Democrat Party in Indiana. I mean, if you can't pull it off with your name, with your resources, I mean, you're going to be a much better candidate than what they put forward in the past. Is there pressure like, hey, if this guy can't do it, we're folding the tent and we're going home?
I don't know. I don't think about things that way. All I can do is focus. You know, you're a IU football fan?
Yeah. I mean, I've got an IU diploma on my wall. I paid for it. I might as well make it work, right?
Well, Coach Signetti likes to say we focus on the next hour. Best meeting, best walkthrough, best practice, and then we go through quarter by quarter in the game. You can't think about all these, big kind of looming pressures on you. You just got to focus on what is in front of me immediately today. How can I win this moment? That's what I'm focused on, not all those narratives.
Couple minutes left with Bo Bice, Democrat candidate for Secretary of State. So what's the next several months look like for you? Because one of the things that you've done very well so far, and I think it's even surprised some people, I think a lot of people are like, well, his dad's going to give him all this money and he'll be fine. You're raising a lot of money, let's say on your own. So what do the next couple months look like for you? And address the amount of money you think it's going to take to win this race.
Yeah, so the next couple months, I'm working at a law firm here in town. I got bills to pay. Someone was saying the other day, well, most people who run for public office don't have jobs on the side. I'm like, well, I mean.
Well, I will say this for you. You showed up on your own. There's no entourage here.
Yeah, well, I can't afford it.
I was like, shouldn't there be a line of people behind you? You are here by yourself.
Yeah, and is Diego Morales come on the show?
Yeah.
I don't think he'd probably show up with a bodyguard if he did.
Diego and I had a little back and forth a few months ago.
I had
and
the Lincoln Day dinner.
Yeah, he paid for India, and everybody was eating their rubber chicken like, what is this guy talking about? No. I think that's really says a lot about you, that you go places on your own. You show up.
Well, I'm comfortable with our message. I'm comfortable talking to you, I think. And I go places on my own, talk to Hoosiers around the state. You ask me what I'm going to do the next 3 months. I'm going to get around to crisscross our state, to talk with people, not just Democrats, Republicans, independents alike. I'm going to talk to them about our message. I'm going to hear their where they're struggling in their life and how I can address those concerns. And I look forward to doing that. This is not a partisan office. I'm not going to run it in a partisan way. It's time we clean up the wasteful spending, the corruption, and the grift.
Let's talk about the fundraising. You're getting a lot of big checks. What do you say to people who go, well, see, he's just reaching into his dad's connections, and he's just, just in the lineage, and it's a family business. What do you say to those people?
I would say we're building momentum here because people believe in our message. You talked about the fundraising numbers. The majority of the money that has come in our fundraising effort thus far has been from Republicans, Rob. Republicans. That goes to show how dissatisfied people are with our current state of politics. It's not partisan. People want leaders, and I hope to be one of these leaders who bring people together, work with folks I don't always agree with, unify people. That is our message, and that's why we've had early success in the fundraising department.
Yeah, you got some famous names on there, and I decided I need more rich friends. My grandpa used to give me like $20 each month, so I decided I need more rich friends. Real quick, I want to get to know you a little bit because I think it's easy to say, oh, he's just coming back here. He's doing this to use Hoosiers. Talk a little bit about your military service, because I think that says a lot about somebody, about that you could go any path you wanted to go, and you decided to be willing to wear the uniform for your country.
Oh, thanks. And, people always ask me, well, did your parents put pressure on you growing up? Your dad was, senator, whatever. The only pressure my parents put on me was to just give back and to try and serve. And you can do that in a ton of different ways besides being in the military. You can be, you can be a journalist. I don't know if you'd label yourself a journalist. That might be a dirty word these days, but there's just a ton of different ways to do that. And so I decided to join the Marine Corps because I've been very lucky in my life, Rob. I've had a lot of opportunities open to me that, I'm very grateful for, and I feel an obligation to give back and just do my part to defend our country. The best thing about the Marine Corps, the best thing about the military is that people come from all different walks of life, from big cities, little towns, from all over, and they vote for incredibly different people. We have different politics. But at the end of the day, in the Marine Corps, I was an infantry officer in the Marine Corps, all right? It is my job as the leader to take all of these different people and orient them toward a common goal. We didn't ask each other who we voted for because it didn't matter. We had a mission to accomplish. We need more of that spirit, that type of leadership in our politics.
And the thing I like about your military service is there's more than just one file photo of you. Just was on one studio portrait.
Is that Diego?
That's all I've seen so far. Doesn't mean there's not more. It just means that's the one we keep seeing. Hey, before I let you go, it's interesting because everybody talks about your dad, your grandpa, But I want you to talk about your mom for a minute, because I was talking to my mom the other day about, you're coming on the show and she listens to the program. And when she was talking about your family, and we're lifelong Hoosiers, so we obviously remember when your dad was governor and your grandpa was a senator. She wasn't talking about any of that. She just said his mom was such an outstanding, beautiful person. And I just want to give you a moment to talk about that, because it probably gets old just talking about your dad and your grandpa. And I know your mom was a big part of your life, too.
Yeah, she was just an amazing woman in so many ways, and I was just very lucky to have her as a mom. She busted my butt growing up trying to get me to study and do what. And look, at the time, I was not always a fan of it, but looking back, I mean, everything I've done in my life or I've been able to accomplish has been 95% my mom's energy into me and my brother's lives. And because that's not always the case with people and their kids, and I'm very lucky to have her. I mean, she was just a wonderful lady. She was an attorney, very accomplished in her own right. She put herself through law school, Rob. She was from Southern California. So she always liked to say I was a Hoosier by choice.
Yeah.
She put herself through law school waiting tables and doing beauty pageants. And she always said, she was Miss Southern California. She always said, there was probably prettier girls on the stage, but they ask you kind of like geopolitical questions and things like that. She knocked those out of the park.
Yeah.
And so she was just a wonderful lady. We lost her, 4 years ago now. She passed away from glioblastoma, which is an aggressive form of brain cancer. But I was just so lucky to have her for all those years in my life.
All right, well, we'll have you back plenty of times for the election. I just wanted to take a few moments to, people are talking about you, what you're doing. And look, I'm cheering for you because I think you're sort of the only chance we've got to find out how corrupt these Republicans actually are. And I want to thank you for running. I think you give the Democrats an actual chance in this race, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll look forward to having you back as we get closer to the election.
I look forward to it. Thank you to your listeners, and Rob, thank you to you. You are a rare thing today.
Oh,
an independent voice who's willing to call out both sides in politics. The corruption that we've seen in the State House, the wasteful spending, it can exist in both parties. It just happens to be Diego Morales is a Republican, but we got to just, as common sense taxpayers and just, normal people, we got to call this stuff out. You're doing a good job of that.
Yeah, thanks, Bo. Appreciate you, man.
All right.
Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
It's opening night, presented by Kroger with your Indiana Pacers. To the shoot.
Oh, my goodness! What is happening here?
My,
Oh, my. A three from the left side. It's 75-37.
It's a rematch of the NBA Finals when your blue and gold meet the Thunder Thursday at 7:30. Join us pregame for a party on the Plaza. Score your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Thunder, Thursday at 7:30.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Trying to come to an agreement. Sunny and 59 in the Circle City. 73 will be the high for today. Mostly sunny skies throughout. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30. President Trump hosting Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at the White House today as they tried to hash out details on the U.S. possibly supplying Ukraine with more long-range missiles. It also comes a day after President Trump's phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, which President Trump called very productive. Trump says he will be meeting with Putin in Budapest after Secretary of State Marco Rubio meets with him first. The president still expressing optimism that a deal can get done between the U.S. and China. Last week, he threatened to impose additional 100% tariffs on Chinese goods.
China in particular, boy, they did a number on our country. They took money out. Now it's reversed. I mean, we're doing very well with China.
The president says he will be meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea in a couple of weeks. The candidates for New York City mayor squaring off in a fiery debate last night as Election Day is a little over 2 weeks away.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Democratic candidate Zoran Mandani challenged each other on who's more qualified to run New York City.
He literally has never had a job. On his resume, it says he interned for his mother. This is not a job for a first-timer. Any day, you could have a hurricane, you could have, God forbid, a 9/11, a health pandemic.
If we have a health pandemic, then why would New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes? That's the kind of experience that's on offer here today. What I don't have in experience, I make up for in integrity, and what you don't have in integrity, you could never make up for in experience.
Fox's Alexis McAdams reporting Mamdani has previously said his campaign is focused on issues central to New Yorkers and not conflicts in the Middle East. And tributes are pouring in for KISS co-founder Ace Frehley, who passed away Thursday at the age of 74. Rock star Alice Cooper described Frehley as an absolute guitar hero. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My brother never checks on dad, or my sister won't make time to take mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
So, Ethan's house got shot up. And I need more information. We'll get to that in just a second. It's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Ethan Hatcher from Saturday Night on the Circle in for Casey. Before we do that, though, so we interviewed Bo Bai. You'll be able to go back and listen to it on the podcast if you missed any of it. And I will say this. I think we're going to get the race we want out of this because I think you're going to be utterly disappointed no matter who wins. Let's make it entertaining. And I think the buys are going to run the sort of operation where they're going to pull the mask back one ad at a time on who Diego Morales is, how he's run that office, and the Republicans, the Republican Party that has been, for the most part, totally complicit in the behavior.
Are you that confident that Diego Morales is going to secure the nomination from the delegates at convention? Because a successful Bo Bai campaign essentially rests on Diego Morales being the nominee.
Yeah, okay, so I'm torn on this because we all have all members of decent society have a vested interest in getting rid of Diego Morales as Secretary of State. And if David Shelton does that at the convention, then great, we'll move on. However, from the perspective of this radio program and this radio station, The best thing for us is going to be the Bo by Diego Morales.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you're going to see $1 gajillion spent. It's going to get super nasty. And Diego may not want to tell nobody who paid for India, but the buys, I think, are going to figure it out. And I think they'll tell everybody who paid for it.
There's a fantastic contrast that can be drawn between the candidates, and that's what you want for a really energetic election, is when there is a broad disagreement between the two central candidates. I mean, even down to their heights. You got Bo by, a towering giant of a man, and Tippy Toes Diego, who can barely get his head over the podium.
That's the one thing we were laughing during the break that kind of blew me away is I didn't realize how tall he was. Now, I'm 5'8", so I'm not exactly the best guy to compare this to. But you're 6'4"?
6'4", yep.
Kev, you saw him. He's every bit as tall as Ethan, it seems.
Yeah, it's very similar.
And so you're right. Diego's got to be 5'2". And if those two get on a debate stage, which it does raise the question, last time Diego totally chickened out and refused to debate his opponents. Now, he thought he had it in the bag, and he did, and he did. He didn't have to. He's not going to have it in the bag this time. But the contrast of those two next to each other or on at any moment or on stage, it's going to blow people away.
Ooh, that's a good point. I could totally see Diego chickening out of another debate.
And that would be a much bigger deal than him doing that against Destiny Wells and Jeff Moore. So anyway, look, and I know some people are thinking, well, it's going to be this hardcore interview. Look, we got a 13 months before the election. He's going to be back a whole bunch of times as he take policy positions, as he comes out with opinions on things. We'll have him on, and we'll do the in-depth. I think he is. Look, I think you would be naive to think if politics isn't in that family's blood, and it's sort of this. It's remember in Forrest Gump where they give the history of Lieutenant Dan, and somebody had died in his family in every single war, and they go all the way back to the founding of the country. And I think it would be naive to think like that's sort of not what it's like being a buy, and that was sort of a fait accompli. This was always going to happen, and I think he's going to really have to hone his message to connect with people, because while the buy name and that infrastructure, as it clearly is, will help him raise the money he's going to need, it's also going to hurt him with some people, because they'll do the, hey, guy born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Yeah, but I mean, he is a character straight out of central casting, as you often say.
He looks the part,
he's
man.
Very good looking. He looks the part. He's tall. He's charismatic. He's confident. But if he is a savvy politician, he will read the tea leaves and know and understand that winning a statewide office in Indiana is an uphill battle when you are a Democrat.
Sure. And I think two things that I took away from this. One, they are going to destroy, if indeed it is Diego Morales, with these ads, and he will have professional people around him from his father's orbit, from the sort of, the Democrats who are left who know what they're doing orbit. They will be very surgical in how they take apart Diego Morales. They will make this a referendum on Diego Morales. They will put the mirror up and tell this state, this is who this guy is. And they get the polling shows they're going to get the opportunity to do it, because most people don't know who he is. And so I think that's definitely going to happen. I also think he understands that there is a major image problem with that party that he's a part of, and he's going to have to figure out a way to convince people, hey, I'm not one of these no kings people that's going to be showing up screaming on the State House lawn. And that balancing act and the choice, look, voters are going to have to make the choice. Are you willing to deal with what you know and what's going to come out about Diego Morales? Are you willing to deal with 4 more years of that? Are you willing to take a flyer and hope this guy can be moderate and just do the job, which is to be an administrator of the will of the General Assembly?
When it comes to presenting himself, I think he needs to take a book out of John Fetterman, the Better Men's book, and just present himself as normal, somebody who can cross the aisle with bipartisan appeal. And if he fails to capitalize on the many misdeeds of Tippy Toe Diego, then the Democrats deserve to lose.
All right. Man, this is a horrible story. It's fascinating to me, but it's horrible. You posted this on Twitter.
Yeah, you're talking about my house.
Yeah, so you own, we joke, but you own several houses. You are you're living renting houses to people. Most of them are east side of Indianapolis.
Yeah, near east side
yes.
of Indy, I think is what the technical term is.
and somebody shot up one of your houses the other night.
I mean, when you say they shot up, like, okay, Rob, see, this isn't even the first time this has happened to me in Indianapolis. Remember a couple of years ago at the beginning of 2022 when my house got shot up? I was caught in the crossfire.
I've been to your house. I've seen the bullet holes.
A street shooting. I had a couple of windows get shot out. Bullet went right through my house, or right through my bedroom into my living room. And I thought that was bad when I got caught in the crossfire of a little more than a dozen bullets in the front of my house. Rob, they turned this place where my tenants live into Swiss cheese. It's like nothing I've ever seen. They Bonnie and Clyded the place. You know the famous Bonnie and Clyde car?
Yeah.
They did that to a house. They shot out about a dozen windows, shattered concrete in the foundation. I mean, it's a wreck. It's a mess.
Now, this
shot through a closet door, the front door, a bedroom door, many holes in the walls. It's
No, this is not. But I want to point this out. Not that it makes it any better, but this is not the house you live in. This is one of the houses you rent.
Yes, this is a rental property
with people in it.
Mm-hmm.
There were people
in it at the time. This happened at 4:00 in the morning. You know, these people are just laying their heads down and sleeping.
What happens when that? Like, I mean, do they call you? Obviously, I assume they call the police for. Like, what happens when a house gets shot up?
They called the police first, which was the correct course of action, because there's not much I can do at 4:00 in the morning when somebody shoots up one of my properties. So they called police. Police showed up to take a report. They took pictures, and then they left. I'm not sure if there will be any more to the IMPD investigation than that, but now we begin the cleanup process.
So, and I thought you posted by the way, what's your Twitter handle so people can see it?
You can find my Twitter at Ethan Hatcher, my name, ETHANHATCHER, at Ethan Hatcher.
Okay, and so you posted these photos, people want to see them, and it's really staggering, like, to see these pictures. But I thought your kind of description of this was great, which is it's obviously dangerous and horrible. But for you as the landlord, it's incredibly disheartening because you put a lot of effort into your properties to make them livable and passable and something the community can, be proud of, or you're proud to live in. And then people just do all this destruction to your property, and you've got to pay out of your own pocket to fix the damage that they've done.
Trying to do the right thing and hold your head up high in the city of Indianapolis is like trying to swim with training weights on. You are constantly being dragged down by the crap that Democrats have let fester in our city. And I directly connect activities like this to the actions of Joe Hogsett and Ryan Mears over the past Hogsett since 2016, Mears since 2019.
So do you have any faith that, one, the person or people are going to be caught, and two, that anything will happen to them?
I mean, if they're caught, we can talk, especially if they're a repeat offender. Maybe this is the tipping point, but that's a big if they're even going to be caught, because I'm not sure they didn't catch. They were on foot, so they didn't catch any license plates from nearby Ring doorbell cameras or security cameras. There's just not a lot to go on besides the shell casings that were retrieved, and I don't even know if IMPD retrieved them all, because I found quite a few on the sidewalk just myself looking around.
And it's unbelievable that everybody should go look at the photos, by the way. They will just make you sick. This is sort of like standard operating procedure now, where some guy's house got shut up. Well, it's Indianapolis. Like, it's just sort of. I mean, I
put thousands of dollars into this place, Rob. It is so disheartening. I mean, look, it was at least $1,300 for a new epoxy floor coating in the front porch, which was concrete. It was $5,000 to repair some roof leaks. It was several $1,000s to rip out and replace all of the electrical wiring in the property. We put a new tub there, a new tub surround, a new kitchen sink, a new kitchen counter, new tile countertops, new kitchen flooring. We repaired and redid some drywall work. We refinished all of the hardwood flooring, put in a couple new doors, refinished all the antique woodwork, stained that, polyurethaned that. There's a lot of work that went into making this single-family home an attractive place to live, and that's all just been literally shot to pieces by these criminal freaks that Ryan Mears and Joe Hogsett have sympathy for.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I hate that this happened to you. Hopefully your insurance will pay for some of this.
I'm not sure if they will, Rob, because whether or not my insurance is going to cover the damages is entirely hinged on whether this can be construed as vandalism. Because if it can't, and I got my insurance agent looking into that right now, then I'm on the hook for all of these repairs.
Well, how
myself.
could somebody putting bullets through your house not be construed as vandalism?
Well, I'm not an insurance adjuster, Rob, so I'm not sure how they interpret the language, but yeah, you know, if they would have spray painted the front of the house, yes, that would have been covered. Peppering it with bullets, maybe.
All right, we'll take a break. Hammer joins us next. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Yes, both of us scheduled to be in studio together. Can you believe it? Oh, by the way, it's Beer Sample Friday. Maybe that's why he's back.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and it's time to get ready for spooky season by eliminating all of that spooky dirt, grime, and spills. Halloween brings out the best in people, but it also brings out some pretty scary crud from all the foot traffic. How about having Zero Res help you take on all of that with an unbelievable October special? Get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and 15% off dryer vent and air duct cleaning too. Now that's some serious savings on the carpet cleaning. And remember that your air ducts are where the really spooky stuff is. Yikes! The Zero Res service for your carpets, floors, dryer vents, or air ducts is easy to line up, and you can go online at ZeroResIndy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. I love these folks, and don't forget the ZR Water difference. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, leaving things really clean. Now mention WIBC and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at $129 plus 15% off dryer vent and air duct cleaning too. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZeroResIndy.com.
Hey, guys, it's Rob. You know, it's Friday. That means Sunday is just 2 days away. See public school math right there. There we go. And this Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or even a first church home, check out the place we call home, Life Church. Now, we attend the Eagle Creek campus, which you're welcome to attend. But the good news about Life Church, they got campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Plus, they've got awesome online services. They would love the opportunity this Sunday to meet and welcome you and your family. You got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain. And by the way, check it out for yourself without ever leaving your couch. See what it's all about on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers under new ownership just off State Road 37 or GreatLakesHondaFishers.com for deals like a low monthly payment and 0 down on select vehicles.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Casey and the Sunshine Band Friday, January 23rd at Old National Center.
Well, it's just a room full of people now. You just
Look at this sausage fest in here,
You're just
kids.
inviting people onto my show now.
I'm making it better.
You've already been here today.
I know.
I thought we were done with you.
I got roped back in. What can I say?
Kendall and Herrick show.
Yeah, that's John Herrick. He's back again, I guess. Jason Hammer is here.
The reason I've invited the news director into the studio is it's something we haven't done in a while, but I think it's overdue.
Yeah.
It's time to play a heated round of Hit the Post.
Oh.
And John Herrick's going to be the closer, baby.
Okay. I'm awful at this.
Now, explain the game, Rob.
Well, the way it should be done is I should have a little clock that tells me how long
Explain
I have to
the game, Rob.
How to talk. So you play the song, before the guy or girl starts singing, there's the music. You're supposed to be talking up that time frame, and then you're supposed to try to stop right before they stop singing. Now, in a decent society, there's a little clock on every program where you can look at the clock.
I didn't ask for excuses. I really didn't ask for an excuse.
So I'm not very good at this. I used to be
You've
really good
made
when I
this
had the
incredibly
clock.
complicated. We play a song, you talk it up, bada bing, bada boom.
By the way, I can't tell you the amount of people that texted me on how rude you were me yesterday on the Off the Rails segment. So I just wanted you to know the public was very dismayed at your rudeness during my segment.
Yeah, I'm sure the public hates when you get yelled at. Yeah, fine. I'm not buying it, Skippy. I'm not Ethan. I don't have to be nice to you. I hope you get hit by a truck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, now, this is the way the game's going to work. Ethan, you're in the mix, too. Just because you're the new guy here, you don't get to skate.
Okay. Were you allowed to listen to music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, classical music.
Were you allowed to listen to music?
It was a weird childhood, Jason.
I know there's a lot going on there. So these are all songs that you know. I'm not trying to throw you any curveballs.
Yeah.
This isn't some B-side to a Simply Red song or something.
Yeah.
All things you've heard of. Ethan, you're going to channel your inner music DJ. We're going to start the song. You talk it up. You stop talking right as the lyrics start. It's called Hitting the Post, okay?
Okay.
The song I've chosen for you is Dance the Night Away from Van Halen, okay? It's a popular song. I think you'll know it once it starts. Let's play the game.
You're listening to WIBC, bringing you all the classic hits from the 1980s. Coming up is a little bit of Van Halen. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the music.
You left a little on the clock there, Ethan.
I don't know this song. I don't know how. See, we need the clock. Rob's
Boy, you
right.
stink at this game.
Right.
I do stink.
It's okay for you to yell at somebody, but somebody makes fun of your petty little ass, and it's a problem. All right. So, Rob, I kept it as easy as I can for you.
Horrible at this.
It's a Bruce Springsteen song.
Pressure.
You don't need your stupid little pie clock to get a Springsteen song, right? I'm sure you've probably listened to this a million times alone at night with your pants off.
See, this is cheating. I'd never heard that song, and you give Rob
I don't think I
one
asked
of
for
his
your
favorites.
opinion. Ethan, just sit over there
This
and
is
spin
bull
around.
crap.
Spin around.
Bull crap.
Kevin, fire it up.
Oh, here we go. 93 WIBC. It's the Kendall and Casey show. John Herrick's here again. Don't know why. Hope he doesn't blow the whole segment. Either way, it's going to be great. Here's the boss.
You hit the post, okay. Nobody would ever hire you, but that's good.
Well,
You
I was
hit the
making it
post.
up off the top of my head. You're supposed to have liner cards, you know.
You're a
He
broadcaster.
knows-
You're
he
supposed to be
knows the
quick off the
song.
top of your head.
This does test skill. It really does. Because
I mean, there's supposed to be like liner cards, like during
Yes.
this break. You read this, you say this. That's how you're supposed to
No,
do
they
this.
tell you talk up a Springsteen song, and you should be able to talk it up.
Why would
You
it-
do 3 hours of talking off the top of your head every day. You couldn't talk up 15 seconds of a song that you like?
It's a lot of pressure.
You're a moron. All right, here we go. This is...
What did I do to you this week? Like, you came back from vacation, and you've just been an ass to me. Like, what did I do to you?
I'm a man of the people. I give the people what they want.
Sure. All right, Herrick.
No, hold on. No, it's mine.
Oh, it's
I
your
get to
turn.
play.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I kept it in the 80s classic rock genre here. My wheelhouse is like hip-hop from the 90s, but I do like some Motley Crue. So I'm going to go a little different direction here for you on some Motley Crue. Kevin? You are rolling through 9 songs in a row here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Coming up here in just a little bit, Rob Kendall's going to tell you how he gets his fake hair to look so damn good right now. The Crew. Boom. Boom. Right there.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
He's good at this.
Now,
He's good.
I'm excited for this one because John's never played the game with us before.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, in the past, we've brought Kurt Darling when he used to work here into the newsroom because he got real cocky, right? I used to work at a radio station, blah, blah, blah. And he came in here and he stunk. It may have been the worst performance we've ever had. So, with that being said, the pressure's on, John. You've got to redeem the newsroom, okay?
All right.
The song I chose for John, we kept it in the 80s, the rock family, Rebel Yell from Billy Idol. Okay? Kevin, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to a song that was voted the 79th best rock song of all time by VH1 in a public vote. It is Billy Idol. He's had so many hits, but here's another one on 93 WIBC. It is Rebel Yell, Billy Idol. Billy, it's up to you now. Take it away, sir.
All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. Pretty good.
That was way better than Darling did.
You didn't chew out John. He was short, too.
He wasn't short by 30 seconds, Ethan.
It's hard. No, it's really hard. It's not an easy thing to do.
It's much easier when you have the clock. Tells you exactly when to stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just feel it out and flow.
Or the cue cards.
Look, they had a little clock at
Hammer's right.
UND Radio.
You don't even really work on this show. Just sit there and be quiet.
That's because I have my own damn show. Ha ha!
Ooh, weekend guy.
Okay, so
most highly rated show on Saturday night at 7 to 9.
You're damn right it is, my friend.
So
Damn right.
you actually, both of you are back this afternoon. That's amazing.
Yeah, Hammer and Nigel. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Now, how did Nigel have any vacation days left to take a week-long vacation?
I don't know. I think he's still got a few more days around the holidays.
What?
He might be trying to blow out. He front loads his vacation time as to where I backload mine, right? I don't take hardly any time off until like now. And then usually Rob and I get yelled at by management because we take the whole month of December off.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't understand how he appears to also be backloading despite front loading.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got a different contract, but good for him. Take the days if you have them. I'm going to be leaving again here in about a week and a half.
Where are you going?
Florida. I'm going to be Florida, man.
Oh, good for you.
Lewd, new dude in the news possibilities.
What part
World
of Florida?
traveling Hammer right there.
Fort Lauderdale.
You getting like a condo or?
We have like the rewards points at the hotels that we stay in.
You're a hotel guy, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm a
you
big
taking
hotel
your kids
guy.
with you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Your kids are grown now. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, they're going to have like a big kid and play style house party, and the coupon lady and I will be on the beach.
What is coming up this afternoon?
It's Beer Sample Friday, so we're going to just have some beverages, have some fun, kickstart the weekend, and have a good time.
All right, stick around. A lot more on the way. We'll figure out what it is during the break. It's Kendall and Casey Show.
Way to hit the post, Rob.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with zero down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. Zero down delivers, and Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Visit Sundown Gardens for 20% off interior fall decor and 50% off pottery. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street, Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndieDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers studios, where we'll see showers and storms this weekend, how a state trooper was injured while responding to a call, and what an eastern Indiana county is deciding to do with a data center proposal. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
John Bolton is in federal court. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, for a hearing. There's a former Trump national security advisor who got fired, then became an outspoken Trump critic, was charged with mishandling classified documents, some of it considered top secret.
He is facing 18 counts in this indictment after a grand jury met yesterday. The charges of not only keeping top secret info, but sharing it with family members.
Fox's David Spahn outside the court in Greenbelt, Maryland.
Bolton said in a statement of his former boss, Donald Trump, quote, "Now I have become the latest target in weaponizing the Justice Department to charge those he deems to be his enemies with charges that were declined before or distort the facts."
And Bolton calls his conduct lawful. It is day 17 of the government shutdown that House Speaker Mike Johnson keeps blaming on Democrats.
They refuse to just do their basic job, get the government going again, making sure that federal employees are paid, that our troops are paid.
He's pushing for a simple funding extension, but Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries keeps saying it's the Republicans' fault for refusing to negotiate with them.
To enact a spending agreement that actually makes life better for the American people, while also addressing decisively the Republican health care crisis.
In 2 hours, Ukraine's leader will be at the White House, the day after President Trump had another call with Russian leader Vladimir Putin and set up another summit in the coming weeks after the one in August in Alaska that did not lead to the ceasefire the president's pushing for. Today, Volodymyr Zelensky will ask for advanced missiles to keep up momentum battling Russia.
U.S. intelligence sharing has allowed them to make some significant strikes on Russian energy infrastructure. There are also signs that Russia's economy is bottoming out. Just this week, President Trump touted a promise from India that they would soon stop buying Russian oil. Now Ukraine wants the president to approve the sale of Tomahawk missiles so that Ukraine can take out weapons depots deep inside of Russia.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich. After a short truce between Afghanistan and Pakistan, a suicide car bombing today near the border triggered a new skirmish. 6 militants and a soldier dead. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Keeping an eye on the weather this weekend. It's sunny and 61 right now on Monument Circle. 73 is the high today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Brought to you by Window Nation. Showers and storms from Saturday in Indiana might linger into Sunday. That's the message from Greg Mello, a meteorologist at the National Weather Service.
The rainfall will be most widespread in the morning, and then we think once we get into the afternoon and into the evening hours, our rain chances start to taper off as we get some dry air that moves into the area.
He says there's also a small chance of severe weather Saturday that could bring lightning, strong wind gusts at times, and the light possibility of a tornado. Indiana State Police investigating a two-vehicle crash involving one of their troopers from Thursday. Police say the trooper involved was exiting I-465 onto Keystone Avenue and was responding to a call. And as he made his way out to the intersection, he was hit on the driver's side by another vehicle. He and the other driver were transported to nearby hospitals. Thankfully, their injuries were not serious. State police also don't believe drugs or alcohol were involved in the collision. Folks in Henry County are torn over a proposed data center project that would take up 585 acres in the Knightstown area. Discussion for it has now been put on hold. A meeting was held last night. This man spoke at it in favor of the project.
Our county has two choices. Stay with the limited, no-growth opportunities that this beautiful antique Snoopy phone represents. No growth opportunities with this technology. Or we can compete in the modern digital age.
The next meeting on the data center plans near Knightstown is set for November 20th. Notre Dame is facing one of college football's most explosive offenses Saturday night. when USC comes to town. Here's Lynn Clark.
The Trojans average more than 550 yards of offense and 45 points per game, powered by quarterback Jaden Mayava's 73% passing accuracy and a ground game gaining over 6 yards a carry. For the Irish, the keys are pressure and possession, collapsing the pocket to disrupt Mayava's rhythm and to control tempo with sustained drives to keep USC's offense off the field. It's a battle of balance versus burst. Notre Dame and USC Saturday night at Notre Dame Stadium. Len Clark, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the 13th ranked Irish are favored to win over number 20 USC by more than a touchdown. The Hoosiers are number 3 in the nation this week as they face Michigan State at home on Saturday. The odds makers have IU as a 27-point favorite. On Thursday, head coach Curt Cignetti agreed to a contract extension with a raise that keeps him in Bloomington until 2033. Other games, Purdue is on the road against Northwestern and Ball State hosts Akron. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
So October is here. I've got peace of mind with my Window Nation windows that the hot air is going to stay in my house and the cold air is going to stay out. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with top quality replacement windows from Window Nation, just like I did. And they got an awesome deal right now going on at windownation.com.
Window Nation has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and they send the best of the best out to your house. All of their experts have multiple years experience, and Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. So schedule a fast and free estimate right now with Window Nation. And now through October 31st, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And you don't pay anything for 2 years. 866-90-NATION or go online to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, Ethan. Dealer's choice. We got to get to both of these. I'll let you decide which one we do first.
Sounds
it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out. Ethan Hatcher's in for Casey today. Hear him Saturday night, 7 to 9. Saturday night on the Circle. Kev is here as well. Do you want to do government shutdown stuff first, or do you want to do aliens first?
Oh, let's do aliens. Government shutdowns is old news. We've been at that for more than 2 weeks now.
You're on day 17.
Yeah.
It's still going. Mike Johnson's blaming AOC.
And so little has changed in my day-to-day life.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a new documentary. Variety has this article. There's a new documentary that's coming out. It's called Age of Disclosure. And it's going to be in various theaters, and it's also going to have what they're calling a concurrent release with Amazon Prime. So, like, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you should have access to this. And basically, what it alleges is there's been what they're describing as an 80-year global cover-up of non-human intelligent life and a secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced technology of non-human origin.
Okay.
So they're going to interview 34 members of the U.S. government, military, and intelligence communities to expose what they're describing as profound stakes for the future of humanity. So it sounds like, look, there's been many, many documentaries, interviews, whatever, about investigations on alien life. And before we get into it, I'd be curious to see, do you believe in aliens?
I would like to believe, but I've seen no evidence of it.
So do you think all the people are lying? Like, all these people have reported some sort of, I'm sure some of them are lying, but could they all be lying about these various encounters over the many years?
Well, sometimes I've seen people speak very passionately about anomalies that they don't understand, like camera anomalies that people are able to replicate using just basic physics or optical illusions, and they don't understand what they're seeing. So, yeah, maybe they believe that they have seen something anomalous or strange that in their mind could only be explained by extraterrestrial life, but they just don't have the evidence to back it up. They never do.
What about the people that claim they've been visited by the aliens, so that are on the spaceship?
Nah, that's crazy.
All of them are lying.
Yep, that's nuts.
There's no other people who've been probed.
They're either lying or they're delusional, just kind of like we have politicians that run around saying that God personally speaks to them. I think these people are delusional.
Can they all be lying? You don't think it's a conspiracy, right? You think
I think there are a lot of crazy people in this world, Rob.
Yeah, okay. I know. Look, I'm not saying that's totally.
Tim Burchett, congressman from Tennessee, was on Tucker Carlson just the other day, and he was talking about, well, I've spoken with Navy men, and I've had a lot of people tell me things, but they never get to the there. Anna Paulina Luna from Florida, she's talked about this. I think Marco Rubio may have talked about it once or twice. They will allude to something, but it's time to put up or shut up, Rob. I'm tired of being teased. I'm tired of being teased about the possibility without any hard and fast evidence to support it. I would like to believe that we are not alone in the universe. I think it would be a lot of wasted real estate in this vast, galaxy that we find ourselves in if we were truly the only sentient life that had ever risen in the universe before now. But I've not seen it. I think it would be fascinating if that were the case. Yeah, and it would completely change our understanding of the world.
You do hit on a good point, which is, shouldn't we have caught something by now? I mean, it's 2025. Everything's filmed, everything's videoed. Like, shouldn't at some point there have been some sort of capture that the government didn't get to first? Shouldn't there have been some sort of, hey, this thing went down in a field, or, there was a photograph of this that's, definitive proof? Shouldn't that is a fair point. Shouldn't that have happened by now?
Also, the idea that none of this has ever been successfully leaked from the government. The government can't keep secrets forever. Eventually, this information is leaked out when it's needed to be known by the general public. I mean, look what Edward Snowden was able to do about revealing the surveillance state. And they couldn't keep a lid on him, but they can keep a lid on all these UFO anomalies. Nah. It's fun to imagine. I like the X-Files. I like science fiction. But, if we're dealing with, matters of reality, I just don't buy it.
But then I also think you also make a good point, which is this vast and incredible universe. It can't just be us, right? I mean, I guess God would do whatever God wants to do. My old man had a theory on this years ago, and it always stuck with me, and I thought this might be the best explanation. What if they're time travelers? What if aliens or unidentified flying objects or whatever are time travelers, and that's why they can't get caught, because it would disrupt everything anytime they get quote-unquote caught? What if they're studying humans? Like, what if we had the ability to go back in time? Like right now, you think people wouldn't be going back in time to study Abraham Lincoln or George Washington?
Well, that actually brushes very close to another conspiracy. What if we are the aliens? Not only that they're time travelers, but we are the time-traveling aliens, and that's why occasionally you'll see like a doppelganger. These are time-traveling tourists that are going back to a younger Earth of the far distant past.
We are the past.
Yes, we are the future. We are the aliens.
That's
the conspiracy.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Anyway, so that's coming out. Again, the name of, November 21st is the release date on this. The Age of Disclosure is the name.
See, I'm more interested in that John Candy documentary that just came out on Amazon than another rerun episode of Ancient Aliens. I already watched that on History Channel.
You've not seen the Candy documentary yet?
Not yet.
Well, we talked about this yesterday. It's excellent. You should totally watch it. Everybody would enjoy it. It's called I Like Me.
Mm-hmm.
It's different in the sense of it's not just and then he was in this movie, and then he was in that movie. It's interviews. Almost the whole thing is interviews with people.
It's about his personal life.
Right. I mean, they obviously touch on his career and how different roles impacted him personally. But it's interviews with, and what's amazing about that movie, and we talked about this the other day, is the amount of people who are still living who were, I mean, he would be 74 years old now, or was about to turn. Yeah, he'd be 74. He'd be about to turn 75 years old. He's one of those people, John Candy, and it's weird, like whether it's Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix or Jim Morrison or whoever, you just can't picture them being old.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, all these, Dan Aykroyd, these people who are in his orbit are thankfully still living and are a part of it. Okay, let's get to the shutdown real quick. So Mike Johnson, he is the Speaker of the House. The House, of course, has already passed a budget. It is what the Senate refuses to pass. Mike Johnson has basically said, to his credit, we're not coming back. We have passed our budget. We will come back when the Senate is done with their work, and then we will consider other things. And here is Mike Johnson yesterday. Look, they're really trying to make AOC, this is interesting, sort of the face or de facto leader of the Democrat Party. Now, have you noticed this, Ethan?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the Republicans are trying to do this. They clearly must have some sort of polling or data amongst the populace at large that she moves in a negative direction, because they're really going out of their way, many of them, to try to make her sort of like, well, these people are being subservient. Chuck Schumer's being subservient to AOC.
She is essentially the heir apparent of the Bernie Sanders wing of the Democrat Party. I think you have that photo that's been circulating of Bernie and AOC and socialist Zohran Mamdani, who's running for mayor there in New York City, all chumming around and hanging out. So it tracks.
All right, so he was on CNN, and he addressed AOC's criticism. She had some sort of town hall that she did. I think it was on CNN. And so he responded to that and also defended the House Republicans' response to the shutdown.
Your response, sir?
Yeah, instead of doing publicity stunts like AOC likes to do, instead of making social media videos, Republicans are working. We have been working. Right now, they're in their districts doing very valuable work. In our press conference this morning, I highlighted some of the very important things they're doing right now. What are they doing? They're trying to help their constituents navigate through this crisis that has been created by Democrats like AOC. She voted on September 19th in the House to block the pay for troops, TSA agents, Border Patrol agents, air traffic controllers, to stop the services to nutrition supplemental programs to women, infants, and children. She voted to stop service to the elderly and disabled and veterans. That's her vote record, and she's trying to obscure that fact and blame Republicans. I am always open to negotiating, but we had the negotiations in the House, and the mutual agreement by Republicans and Democrats, who were appropriators, who were working on the government funding, was to extend it for 7 weeks to November 21st so they would have time to finish the appropriations process. AOC engaged in a political stunt, as did Hakeem Jeffries, and voted against it for their own partisan political purposes, and they have created this mess. So it doesn't matter how many hours you give her in a town hall, the first ever socialist town hall on CNN. I'm glad it was aired. You got to hear their real views, and it's pretty dangerous for the future of America.
I don't know we got to cover this because obviously it's a big deal that the government is, quote unquote, shut down. But you and I talked about this earlier. I just have a really hard time getting invested in any of this because my life really isn't being altered. Sure. And I think normal people's lives, for the most part, aren't being altered. I'm not saying, obviously, these workers are being laid off or whatever. That's a big deal to them. But I just, and especially if they continue to move money around and, as long as they're paying the troops and I think it just seems like a lot of dinner theater right now.
Yes, but I'm sure you can appreciate the strategy that I think is being attempted to be employed here. And as you know, politics is largely a game of expectations. Being able to paint AOC as a lunatic and rely on her to do crazy things is a low-hanging fruit in terms of political expectations. So if they can successfully couch their message, wrapping it up around that, it's also easy to communicate how crazy she is to the general public. That just strikes me as a smart strategy on their part.
All right. When we come back, the robots are taking over. We have new data that is very scary and the latest example of how we're all doomed. We'll talk about it next. Keithan's in for Casey, 93 WIBC.
Kendall and Casey.
This comes at a time where people are very concerned, and rightfully so, about skyrocketing utility rates. And BlackRock is in the money-making business. They're not in the better life for you business. Somebody better do something fast. Or if you think utility rates are bad now, get ready, pal.
No problem. You know how good the legislature is about passing bills for the residents.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
My brother never checks on Dad, or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned. Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you. Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Greetings, friends. It's Rob, and I hear so often from many of you, boy, your hair, it just looks marvelous. Well, I'd like to say it's great genetics, but it's not. It's a trip to We Grow Hair Indy. And if you're looking in the mirror, feeling a little low on your confidence because you're light up top, a trip to We Grow Hair Indy might be just what you need. So here's how it works. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. You tell them, you say, I want to be as happy and as beautiful as Rob Kendall. And then you go in, totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. They take a look at what's going on. They give you some suggestions on how they might be able to make that better. And then the ball's in your court. And in the meantime, if you say, well, Rob Kendall's endorsement isn't enough for me, you can see some other people who have made the choice to get their confidence back by going to WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call them today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like your neighbor Brett.
We did Galaxy for the sidewalks and also the porch. The porch had a few pits. Galaxy said that was no problem.
Home or business, Galaxy Concrete Coatings got you covered.
Obviously with the front sidewalk and step, but we didn't worry about any kind of slipping. You know, you're concerned about that after rain. And then when it did dry, it didn't spot, it didn't stain. It was just like it had been done yesterday.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
One thing that my wife commented on was how easy the Galaxy coating swept versus just the bare concrete.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com now. That's Galaxy Concrete Coatings. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We're out of this world.
We moved here recently. I didn't even think twice about calling anyone else but Galaxy to come do this house.
Oh, I see what you did here. And that's a Dennis DeYoung Styx song. You really, Kev, checked 2 boxes with 1 act. I don't know if you intended to do that or not.
So was this during when Dennis DeYoung was in the band?
This is the end of Styx. They got mad at DeYoung for doing this because Tommy Shaw's a moron.
Oh,
It's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today.
I didn't know all the history of this song. That's great.
Yeah, this was the end of. So this was like 84, 85. Styx was one of the biggest rock bands in the world, and Dennis DeYoung, who was the backbone of the band, the guy who wrote and sang most of the songs, certainly the songs of any decency or acceptability in good society, decided he wanted to do this concept album of Mr. Roboto, and because Tommy Shaw is the likability of a gnat and no creativity whatsoever, threw a fit and broke the band up. So, but you did this, Kev, not just for that reason.
Yeah, it's symbolic.
Sometimes Kev will play things just to test me. He knows the response he's going to get, and he will just put them out there. But it's because we're talking about robots here. That's why you did this, right?
Right.
Very good. Yeah.
Kev knows what he's doing when he does bump music selection.
Trained professional, yes. Anyway, so Axios had an interesting article out about the amount of content on the internet that is now written by robots, or as we call it today, artificial intelligence. Ethan, now more than half of articles written on the internet are written no longer by humans. They're written by robots.
That doesn't surprise me.
52%, I'm sorry, of articles that you consume, that the public at large consumes, are written by artificial intelligence.
There is a theory that most of the interactions on the internet are actually overseen by bots or artificial intelligence. It's a whole theory of the internet. It's like desolate internet, barren internet. I can't remember the specific term, but the idea that there are fundamentally far fewer real people who are interacting with these social media sites than you would think.
Oh, totally. And it used to be you could spot them pretty easy based on like the profile picture or like did their profile name have 9 numbers after it. But I think it's getting better and better on how these accounts are being set up and activated, for lack of a better term.
It's been proven that they do this with dating websites as well, where they create artificial accounts on the dating website to give you the impression that there are far more people using it, and therefore your probability of achieving a partner of some kind is far greater than it is.
So you'll give them money.
Indeed.
Well, you're single.
Money.
You're single. You ever encountered a fake person on the dating site?
I have suspected, but it's hard to pin it down. I'll tell you what, it's hard to get a date out of those dating websites.
Okay, so
those are few and far between.
I didn't intend to do this, but I'm gonna ask you about this. Like you're a person of some stature, right? You are a known broadcaster in the city of Indianapolis. You have
most highly rated Saturday evening show from 7 to 9.
There you go. Perfect. And you have views that, I mean, some people may agree with your views, some people may disagree with your views, but you put your political views out into the public to be consumed. Do you worry when you're on a dating site of, oh, somebody's going to be on there and they're going to find out who I am, and then they're just going to be on like a kamikaze mission to try to take me down? They'll pretend to want to meet me or whatever.
Oh, no. Most people don't have that time in the day. You'd have to be a real nutso to go specifically meet with somebody.
You don't think there's real nutsos on the dating websites?
There are, but they've never specifically sought me out, thankfully. I mean, look, if they're going to hate you for your political affiliation, then it was probably not going to work out anyway. So
yeah, okay. Kev, you ever met a robot on the dating sites? Any person that you engaged in a long love affair with and then found out they were just not even human?
No, I'm pretty good at knowing right away that they're fake.
But you can see them. You have encountered the robots.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that make these fake profiles and they'll have like their Snapchat in their bios.
Yeah,
and,
suspiciously attractive women with like 2 photos in the profile. Like, oh, okay,
exactly. And you can tell the photos are like sort of grainy screenshots.
Grainy screenshots are stock images.
My flip phone. I took this photo with my flip phone. Okay, yeah. So this is the bigger story here, though, is that the robots are taking over. I mean, so Axios has this chart, and even as little as 3 years ago, November of 22, there was less than 10% of all content was generated by robots on the internet. So in 3 years, you've gone from 10 to 52%. That's like massive increase.
Here's a counter question for you, Rob, that occurs to me in the moment. Would you trust AI to deliver you unbiased, unwashed information more than partisan media Democrats?
No, because I think you program the robot to do whatever it is you wanted. Somebody's programming this robot, right? Until the robots can program themselves, there has to be a base of knowledge.
Yeah,
right?
but I can ask Grok almost any question that I want, and I feel like I get pretty good, unbiased information when I ask those questions.
Well, okay, I guess I approach it like this. I assume everything I get from everyone is biased, and it's my job to read numerous sources to come to an opinion. Right? I don't
agree with that.
Everything I consume, I am reading it under the guise of this is trying to get me to think or to act a certain way. So I don't get offended by like, oh, they were totally manipulating me. I just assume straight news, other than the WIBC newsroom, is now gone for the most part, that there is very little straight news left anymore. And even stuff that is, quote unquote, reporting the news, look, the person giving you that story has a bias. They have an opinion of some sort, and it's almost like even not intentional in many cases, but it's human nature for your bent to come out on something.
There are entire media services that are now kind of based on that reality, where they filter stories based on political bias or affiliation and then try and give you as broad an overview as possible, left, right, and middle.
Well, look, and I think it shows out in our radio show. I mean, you think about the last 2 days, who we've had on this show. We've had Jesse Brown, who's an avowed socialist on the Indy City County Council. James Briggs, who does a lot of investigative reporting, but I think he will acknowledge his opinion pieces tend to be more left. And we had a Democrat running for Secretary of State in Bobai this morning. And we're basically kind of the only show that will go that in depth in terms of having Democrat politicians. Hammer and Nigel will do it certainly more than Tony does, but I do that because you know
how to handle these people.
Well, I think an audience can consume information from the other side the same way as I consume information from the other side all the time. And what you find is there are a lot of points of agreement on things. Look, there's things I think Jesse Brown is totally nuts on. The stuff like getting rid of the cars, I think he's crazy. But on battling the Hogshead administration or the city on cutting this deal with AES, I think he's spot on.
What I like most about your show, your and Casey show, Rob, is that it's a far larger indictment when politicians choose not to do a segment or two on the air with you, because you'll have anybody.
Sure.
You'll invite them and give them prime radio time.
And I think you can consume. There's things people heard from Bobai today. They probably say spot on. There's things they probably heard and they're like, that's probably a little off. Same thing with Jesse Brown. Same thing with James Briggs. But we should be able to hear the other side, consume it, critically think, okay, these are the things that are right. And then the other things probably more affirm your already held belief system. So when it's scouring the internet for stuff, I go out of my way to read websites that I know are liberal because it challenges the way that I think. All right. When you are on social media, you work during the day, so a lot of your social mediaing is probably at night, would be my guess.
Yeah, night, afternoons.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So there's some new data out on how when you engage in social media and how that can affect your life. Bad news for you, Ethan.
Oh.
All right. We'll talk about it next. Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Waiting for the rain to come in. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Showers and storms are likely for Saturday.
Yeah, so that system will start to move out of the area on Sunday, but we still are expecting lingering showers and maybe even a few storms on Sunday as well.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service says severe weather with lightning and strong winds are also a possibility this weekend. An Indiana State Police trooper is recovering after getting injured in a car crash. Police say the trooper was hit by another car on Keystone Avenue Thursday afternoon, but both drivers involved are okay. Henry County residents are split on a data center proposal coming to their area. The 585-acre project was tabled at a meeting last night for a meeting scheduled for next month. And the Pacers are finishing up preseason play tonight when they battle the Spurs in San Antonio. The regular season opener is this coming Thursday at home against Oklahoma City. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Fall is here, and if that means it's time for new flooring in your home, then Brothers Floor Covering is ready to help. Brand new carpet, hardwoods, laminates, and luxury vinyl plank in stock now. Plus, Brothers Floor Covering can get your new flooring installed in as little as a few weeks. Visit Brothers Floor Covering today at their new location, 8550 Michigan Road. Discover why buying local means receiving more, not paying more. Get the flooring of your dreams installed now. Stop in today or visit brothers-floorcovering.com.
Things are getting frighteningly good at the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this weekend at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds in Lafayette. Whether you're buying, selling, or trading, the best dealers in the region are creeping in for this haunted weekend of bargains. Admission is just $6 for adults. Kids 12 and under get in free. But beware, you must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Doors creak open Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 9 to 3 at the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds in Lafayette. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
My brother never checks on Dad. Or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Ethan, you're active on social media.
Try to be.
You're a lot of twittering.
More so than I used to.
Is there a reason for that?
After Elon bought Twitter out. I joined Twitter back in like 2011.
Oh,
and I had Twitter back in 2011. I just never really used the thing until Elon bought it.
So study finds, well, okay, let me ask you this. Like, when do you do, is there a majority of the time in which you do your social media activity?
I mean, it's kind of all over the place. It's, really just whenever the mood strikes me. But I guess if I had to peg down a time where I'm more active versus less active, it would be afternoons and evenings versus mornings.
Okay, so there's a new study. Study Finds has the studyfinds.org has the information out. This is out of England, and they examined 310 adults, and what they found was that Twitter users, X, whatever we're calling it these days, who regularly posted between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., reported notably lower well-being compared to people who posted during the day.
Oh, well, yeah, that tracks. You should be getting rest between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. Jeez.
Well, yeah. And some of us, you're a business owner, so...
I'm not tweeting between 11 and 5. I'm asleep between 11 and 5.
Well, okay, so I was going to ask you, because when I owned my businesses, see, this was a major issue for me. I owned a business where I just had work that needed to get done, and a lot of it came about in the evening. So most people know this, but for years I owned a company. This was when it was a very groundbreaking thing in the early mid-2000s, where we streamed college and pro sporting events on the internet. Obviously, that's totally commonplace now. 15, 20 years ago, that was much less commonplace, and that's what I did for a job. But because sporting events, especially high school and college, take place most of the time in the evening, and you'd have to wait until games get over. We would stream them and archive the games for people. It involved being up late to do the thing, which meant I was naturally up late. So my internal clock, and it is still screwed up to this day, it was nothing for me to stay up till 3 in the morning and wake up at noon and be totally like that was a normal life for me. And I've struggled ever since to get on a regular sleep pattern. So I will often find myself waking up at like 3:30 or 4 in the morning, and it will take me an hour to get back to sleep. I also have a 2-year-old tyrant who, like last night, decided at 3:30 she wanted to wake up and have some fun. So
that's why I was about to ask you whether or not having a child shocked your sleep pattern back into a normal rhythm.
Well, I mean, it really, I've handled it much. Now, I've mentioned this before on air. Ethan, my wife, has a horrible affliction, and I feel terrible for her, in which she just doesn't hear things after about midnight. And so, thankfully, I hear everything. So it really worked out well for her that she married somebody who hears everything and can deal with those things. It's a horrible affliction, very convenient, yet horrible affliction. But it doesn't bother me as much because I spent years being on that sort of bizarro sleep cycle. So I will sometimes tweet or stuff late at night because I just happen to be up because I can't go to bed. But that's probably why I'm such a tortured soul, is because I don't get the proper
Do
amount
you
of
ever
sleep.
have people call you out for posting weird things at like 2 o'clock in the morning? Because occasionally I've seen other content creators, especially if they're like up in the middle of the night. What are you doing posting at 2:30 in the morning? Go to bed.
Well,
That's so.
Mine is not because I'm, on any sort of substance. It's because I'm screwed up and I just can't get back to sleep. So I think mine all makes sense. All the letters go together. They appear to be coherent sentences, et cetera, et cetera. No, because I think people just know I'm weird. And so there's nothing like, here's the thing.
That's the charm, Rob.
People judge you based on the standard you have set forth, right? Whatever standard you set forth for yourself. There's certain behaviors that some people do them and they're like, Trump is the perfect example of this. He has set the bar at such a low level that he will say or do things that if any other politician said or did them, there would be outrage. And when Trump doesn't even make the news, people are like, oh, it's Trump. And I've kind of figured that out a long time ago, that there's not really a normal for me. So anything I do, it's like, well, Rob's pretty eclectic. So that kind of makes sense.
It's an expectations game.
Right.
Just like politics.
That's why once you That's why I never really entered decent society, because once you enter decent society, then there are standards and norms, and you're going to be in very big trouble. So anyway, if you are a person, though, who does attempt to cohabitate in the world of the normal and acceptable, if you are up tweeting between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., it could be irreparable harm to you and what you do.
There's so much value for the mind, for the body, in making sure that you get a good night's rest. Because I know when I don't get a good night's sleep, I suffer through the day. My performance suffers, my thinking ability suffers, my ability to enjoy life suffers. Get rest, folks.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm sure years from now I'm going to pay for this in just a horrible fashion. But anyway, hey, Capital Chronicle, our friends over at Indiana Capital Chronicle had an interesting article. By the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Ethan's in for Casey. The Indiana Conservation Voters is doing a $100,000 statewide media campaign, and this is related to telling lawmakers to reject redistricting. And they're going to run ads. They're going to be seen this weekend during the Colts, IU, and Notre Dame games. So they're clearly targeting, this would appear to be men, probably between the ages of, let's face it, the demo would probably be 25 to 54. That's going to be your target audience, most likely, with that. And it is interesting the amount of effort that has been into the pushback on redistricting. And there's all these rumors out there that they're getting ready to call the special session. Some national news groups have hopped on it. Look, I don't think those groups have any inside information. I think they're just kind of maybe picking up on the story. But it is interesting. The pushback has clearly been so strong that we are now, 3 or 4 months into this, and they have yet to actually make the call.
Well, it's broadly unpopular. And I think that's what these ad campaigns are kind of picking up on and then trying to leverage.
Have you ever seen an issue? We got into this with Nikki Kelly yesterday from the Capital Chronicle. Have you ever seen an issue in which the public appears to be so overwhelmingly against it, and yet the lawmakers still seem intent in some shape, form, or fashion going forward with it?
Yeah, far too often. Look at what happened with property taxes. Well, I recall we all showed up at the State House on St. Patrick's Day, and we had a very clear and coherent message to present to the governor, and he disregarded it in the order in which it was received.
But not in the moment.
No,
I mean,
not in the moment.
Didn't you walk out of there feeling pretty good about that day, that at the very least Braun was going to veto whatever nonsense those guys put forward? Didn't you walk out of there that day feeling like, hey, maybe it actually worked in our favor for once?
Yes, and I regret getting my hopes up. Yeah, I don't know why I did that to myself.
Yeah, that was
I should have known better.
It. Yeah, and I you can blame me for that. It was I'll take the blame on it. But it is interesting that these guys and girls sort of seem stuck between a rock and a hard place, because clearly the leaders of the House and Senate, Houston and Bray, don't want anything to do with this. They're annoyed they have to deal with it. And these lawmakers, at least on the Senate side, appear to be very hesitant on this and don't want any part of it. And they won't just put the nail in the coffin and say, we're done with it. Do whatever you're going to do, Trump. We're out of here. See ya.
It's the local legislators who would have to deal with the brunt of the pushback from redistricting.
That's right.
It's the statewide offices at the federal level that are broadly going to be rewarded. There's little incentive for the Flanders brothers, Rod and Todd, to move this forward.
Yeah, so we'll see what's going to look. I still can't fathom they're actually going to have the guts to not the guts to buck the Trump administration, to not do whatever Trump wants them to do. But the fact that it's taken this long is a massive loss, even if they, quote unquote, succeed with doing it.
I mean, they had to throw the vice president at us, Rob.
Well, they've thrown him at us 3 times. We're on trip number 3. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Ethan, if you'll indulge, look, I think you've lived a fascinating life, Ethan. And I think we've just scratched the surface on the interesting things that happened to you in your childhood. So at the risk of opening up great trauma and torture, there's a stat out on how people are feeling about Halloween. And I know Halloween was interesting for you growing up. Can we delve into that when we come back? Will you do that for our audience?
Let's do some radiotherapy, Rob. That sounds like a good time.
All right, it's Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show. Yes, both of us scheduled to be in studio together. Can you believe it? Oh, by the way, it's Beer Sample Friday. Maybe that's why he's back.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom designed jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PAJewelers.jewelry.
Truck drivers, the holiday rush is here. Take advantage by becoming a Schneider driver. By driving for one of America's busiest carriers, you'll stay busy during the holiday season and throughout the new year. Plus, as a Schneider driver, you'll have access to top quality driver support and newer equipment spec'd with the latest safety and comfort features that drivers want. Don't wait. Get a jump on 2026 by exploring jobs in your area today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2026 HR-VLX all-wheel drive for $309 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. 10,000 miles a year. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends October 31st. See dealer for details.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair. Your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Don't wait to hear it from someone else.
I says, oh yeah? And she says, yeah, is right.
The WIBC Daily Newsletter brings you the headlines, videos, and moments everyone will be talking about next.
I want to stand alone in front of the world in that oncoming tank, like that Chinese boy that we all have to thank. Sure to send a picture that I have.
93
93 WIBC. It's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's out today. Ethan Hatcher from Saturday Night on the Circle in for Casey. Okay. When you were a kid, did you dress up for Halloween?
I wasn't allowed to. Jehovah's Witnesses are allergic to fun. I was raised in the religious cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they don't celebrate any holidays, Christmas, birthdays, Thanksgiving, Halloween. I used to be terrified of Halloween because I thought that's when all the demons came out and the really nasty worldly people, you know.
Wait. So come on. So like what Halloween when like you're like were there school events or whatever?
I didn't go to school.
Well,
I wasn't allowed to go to school. I was a homeschooled lad. See, this is why I'm so damaged, Rob.
This is fascinating. I don't even know how to do this segment now, right? Okay. So like, did your parents acknowledge Halloween?
Well, of course, Halloween exists. We always made sure to keep the porch light off to deter anybody. There's no candy here, children.
Did you ever get into it with your parents about wanting to dress up and go out on Halloween?
No, because disagreement is not allowed.
So but were you like an actual believer? This is not where I intended to go with this segment at all, but now I'm fascinated. So like, did you ever say, but I want to, or in your mind, were you like, I want to do this, or were you a true believer?
No, I was a true believer when I was a kid, because of course that's the only thing that's in your reality is what you're being told from your parents, or in my case, parent, because I was raised by my mother as a only child. But yeah, no, I totally was a believer. I bought in 100%.
Now, as an adult, have you ever gone to a Halloween anything?
Yes, a couple of times, but it's just like Christmas. It's hard to get into the spirit of the season when you don't have the nostalgia from your youth to look back on. That's what ties so many people to these events, is the fact that they, were surrounded from it when they were from a young age, and when you take that away, it's just I find it difficult to get into it.
Yeah, because like with Christmas, obviously the birth of Jesus is the center of Christmas, but from a commercialistic perspective side of it, it's for kids, right? It's Santa Claus. It's unwrapping presents. It's presents under the tree. So like, as an adult, I don't mean to do like some Freudian deep dive here. But as an adult, are you like, I hate that I never got to go see Santa Claus?
Yeah.
I would be too.
I feel like I got cheated, got robbed a little bit.
I would be miserable about that. It's amazing you turned out to be as productive a human being as you have.
Oh, I'll tell you how messed up it was, Rob, because I told you I was homeschooled. That's true for all of but 1 year. I was sent to the 6th grade as a punishment because I was not living up to the expectations that were set for me in homeschooling. And I did so well in public school and really enjoyed it that I was taken out of public school the following year also as a punishment.
That's horrible. So wait. So with Jehovah's Witnesses, homeschool, like, where there's a group of you that are in the schooling together?
Not all Jehovah's Witnesses are homeschooled, because Jehovah's Witnesses demographically tend to be very poor, so not everybody could afford to homeschool their children and must rely on public education. That was just my personal hell.
Were you by yourself?
Subjected to. Yes, I was an only child.
Yeah, so I mean,
I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of my life alone.
Yeah, so you... My gosh, I wasn't trying to go to any of this with this segment, but now I can't get off of it. It's supposed to be about Halloween costumes. But wait. So, like, your mother was your teacher?
Yeah.
And it was just you. It wasn't like a group, like a 5 kids in a room or whatever.
It was just me.
And so she got mad at you and sent you to public school as a punishment. And then you loved it because, like, you're around kids. It's fun. Like, you like.
Yeah, I did really well. I was, like, good with the teachers. I got pretty good grades. I wanted to be part of, like, the school theater, which I wasn't allowed to because it conflicted with meeting time with going to the Kingdom Hall on Thursdays,
and so
Mondays,
your mom got
and
mad
Sundays.
about that you were having too much fun, and she yanked you out.
Yeah.
My gosh, the fact that you're not in a federal prison somewhere is amazing, Ethan.
Thank you, Rob.
It's amazing. Like, I knew you had some tumultuous things. I didn't know, like, to the extent that it was things like this.
Yeah, no, welcome to the wonderful, wide world, wacky world of Jehovah's Witnesses. One time, because I wasn't living up to her expectations, she sent me to my room to be alone for 10 days. And
Is that legal?
I was allowed to come out for dinner. Of course, I got to have dinner, but I mean, I didn't go to school. I got to go to church. Of course, they don't call it church. Got to go to the Kingdom Hall, Mondays, Thursdays,
Is this painful
and Sundays.
to talk about, or are you just immune to it at this point?
I'm just immune to it. It's just
But you're
me,
so
just part of the
matter-of-fact
background.
about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's things that happened.
Because, like, as a kid, my mother, now she denies she did this now, but she totally did this. She would, like, discipline me, but make my dad do the actual disciplining. So, like, Robert, go to your room. You're going to be in big trouble when your dad gets home. But I would be in my room for, like, an hour. Not
well,
like for
she
10
had to
days.
do it all herself because she divorced my father when I was still an infant. So
yeah, but I'm saying, like
all
it
her.
was not 10 days. It was like an hour's worth of punishment, then a stern lecture from my father, and then everybody goes about their, merry business and all as well. 10 days?
Yeah, well, what can I say? I got to read. I had library books.
Yeah. Okay, well, the point of all this, I was picturing my
It was supposed to be Halloween costumes, I think
yes,
is where we started here.
Fox News has a list of the top Halloween costume searches for this year. I've got to admit, they're all from this same, it's a show?
It's a movie that did very well. I kind of want to see it.
I've never heard of it.
It's on Netflix. It's K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, okay. And they're like characters, the top 5.
Yeah.
Now, this must be a kid's movie of some sort, right?
Yeah,
because this is obviously kids.
Animated, computer animated film.
Right. And then, so the top 5 are all of these characters from this K-pop Demon Hunters movie. And then, I don't know. I honestly don't know who any of these top 9 are. Chicken Jockey from Minecraft.
I know who that is.
That was
like
a
to play
game.
Minecraft.
That was a computer game when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's still very popular. It's one of the most popular games in the world behind Roblox, I think.
La Boo Boo?
Yeah, those are those creepy new little dolls. They're like the Furbies of the 2020s.
Oh, Derby the Tiger, also from the K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Elphaba from Wicked.
Yeah, and Galinda. She was less popular, though.
Is Elphaba the bad witch?
Yeah, Galinda's the cheery one. Elphaba is the bad witch.
Okay,
She's
so the Good Witch of the North was
she's less popular.
Okay, yeah. And then I know.
Did you see people in Indiana? I think it was Fort Wayne is dressing up like Donnie Darko that made the list. Yeah, you didn't see 2001's Donnie Darko? That was a cult hit.
Oh, the movie. Yeah, okay.
Movie.
No, I never saw it, but I know of the movie.
It's a weird movie, a weird character. It's just kind of funny that it made the list at all because it's more than 20 years old now.
And now I do know number 10, the Lorax. That's Dr. Seuss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's your top 10.
Speak for the trees.
Yeah, I think I don't even know it was number 1 when I was a kid.
Probably Groucho Marx. A lot of people dressing up as
I'm not
Groucho.
100 years old.
Well, I mean, but everybody has the glasses and the nose with the mustache. Everybody knows.
Clown or something like that. Well, that was a terribly uplifting way to end our program today. Thank you for bearing your soul to the audience. Ethan,
That's what we do
you did a great job filling in this week, man. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Yeah, it's going to do it for us this week. Thank you to Ethan. Kevin, great job as always. And most importantly, thank you to you. Without you, there is no us. It's Kendall and Casey Show. Tony Katz coming up next, 93 WIBC.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with 0 down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. 0 down delivers. And Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
It's opening night, presented by Kroger with your Indiana Pacers.
To the shoot.
Oh, my goodness! What is happening here? Oh, my. A 3 from the left side. It's 75-37. It's a rematch of the NBA Finals when your blue and gold meet the Thunder Thursday at 7:30. Join us pregame for a party on the plaza. Score your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Thunder, Thursday at 7:30.
There's one name for every home system. Chapman. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, electrical, and now proudly serving Bloomington. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this.
Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your healthcare too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Visit Sundown Gardens for 20% off interior fall decor and 50% off pottery. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street, Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit indiedecorativeconcrete.com for details.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
This rainfall will definitely be beneficial for portions of the state.
With the federal law, it's legal, pretty much.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is suing the Trump administration.
You know, we've accomplished a lot here in a short amount of time.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Rainfall likely on Saturday. Right now, sunny and 65 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. Along with that rain, severe weather could arrive.
The threat for severe weather is mainly going to be late Saturday afternoon, into the early portions of Saturday night. And with that, the primary risks that we're expecting are isolated strong to severe wind gusts, and then heavy rainfall as well will be a threat.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there's also a small chance for a spin-up tornado.
This rainfall will definitely be beneficial for portions of the state that are seeing, these worsening drought conditions.
But he also says while that rain will help, he doesn't believe it will rain enough to completely alleviate the drought. The owner of an Indianapolis smoke shop says his business was raided, and he's not happy about it. Jarrett Lewis reports.
Indiana State Excise Police scouring over the Higher Life CBD dispensary and smoke shop in Fountain Square recently as part of their statewide crackdown on unregulated sales of illegal smoking products. Brandon Howard said police took over 700 smokable hemp products from his store.
They took CBD hemp flower, which is legal under the Farm Bill. So in Indiana's eyes, it's illegal, but with the federal law, it's legal, pretty much.
He spoke with Wish TV about the raid. He's now calling on nearby smoke shops to clear their business of any illegal items and is hoping state leaders will reconsider Indiana's laws on THC products. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Workers at a casino you may know well in Indiana say they've had enough. Johnette Cruz explains.
More than 200 casino workers at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, and Shelbyville are now on strike. The dealers and dual-rate employees walked off the job Friday at noon, demanding management recognize their intent to join Teamsters Local 135. The workers were scheduled to hold a union election Friday, but it was indefinitely delayed to the ongoing federal government shutdown, which has halted the National Labor Relations Board. The workers proposed to use a neutral third party to conduct the vote as planned, but the management refused, leaving the group no choice but to strike for union recognition. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
This is the 17th day of the government shutdown, by the way. Former Trump administration National Security Advisor John Bolton has surrendered to federal authorities in Maryland. Bolton was indicted Thursday on federal charges. He's accused of mishandling classified documents. Bolton says the indictment is politically motivated. His Maryland home and D.C. office were searched by FBI agents back in August. Around 40 No Kings protests are going to be held across Indiana tomorrow. These protests have been held in Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, and other larger cities already this year, but they'll be held in smaller cities and towns this time, including Decatur, Oldenburg, Franklin, and Batesville. Those organizing the protests say the Trump administration is trying to eradicate the First Amendment, silence journalists, and remove the rights of marginalized groups. Some people like the idea of a data center in Henry County. Others don't. Newcastle Henry County Economic Development Corporation president and CEO Corey Murphy supports it and he used a novelty push-button phone with Snoopy on it to make his point Thursday night.
Our county has two choices. Stay with the limited, no-growth opportunities that this beautiful antique Snoopy phone represents. No growth opportunities with this technology. Or we can compete in the modern digital age.
Those against it say it would raise costs and put increased pressure on power grids. They'll discuss it again November 20th. A new contract for the Indiana Hoosier football coach, Curt Cignetti. Jake McDaniel reports.
Cignetti has signed a new 8-year contract that secures his leadership through November of 2033. The new deal is a commitment from IU worth an average annual compensation of about $11.6 million. IU President Pamela Whitten called Cignetti a winner, and IU's number one priority is making sure he remains the leader as they look to compete at a championship level for years to come. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Cignetti spoke about that in a video released shortly after he signed the new deal.
You know, we've accomplished a lot here in a short amount of time, but still have a lot of work to do. So I couldn't be more proud to be a Hoosier, and I plan on retiring as a Hoosier.
Cignetti says he loves the way the state of Indiana has embraced both he and his family. His 6-0 Hoosiers are ranked 3rd in the country, and they face Michigan State tomorrow in Bloomington at 3:30. The first exhibition game for the Indiana Hoosier men's basketball team is tonight as they face the Marion Knights at Assembly Hall. IU's head men's basketball coach Darren DeVries says he's seen lots of progress from his guys.
The connectivity has really come a long ways from the beginning of the summer till now, and now we got